Triton Nation, welcome to another season of Iowa Central football. It is football weather. You can feel it in the air, and the football gods have been brewing up something special for today as we had some thunderstorms, lightning, harsh wind, and rain falling down ever since about 2 or 3 in the morning. Now, things have cleared. Things have settled. The football gods must be in attendance and getting ready for today because we start the 2026 to 2027 Iowa Central football season in a matter of moments. I'm Hank Ambrose with you, your play-by-play guy of the season, and I'm going into my 7th season calling Iowa Central football. I cannot believe that. It is an absolute honor and privilege to be able to tell the story once again this season. The Iowa Central Triton marching band and dance team and cheer squad have already taken the field in a fantastic live pregame. We are anticipating that Triton tsunami to rush the field any moment now. You can see the Tritons are being raised in the air, and I gotta say, this is the most packed I've ever seen Dodger football for a home opener, I think, in my 7 years of calling Iowa Central football. And I know that a large reason due to that is the masterminds that were behind this Iowa Central Triton football reunion, which started just 2 days ago, and it encapsulates today with the Triton football game. This is awesome. If you haven't heard about it, let me tell you all about it. So the Iowa Central Triton Athletics have hosted this Triton football reunion. Again, started on August 27th, and it's a weekend of reconnecting with teammates, reminiscing with coaches and friends, and celebrating the proud history of Triton football, both on and off the field, which is just fantastic. So many came together to make it happen, including current AD Guy Horn, former football coach and AD Coach Twait, and new head football coach Colby Cratch. We'll introduce you to him in just a little bit, but I see the rumbling, I see the fans on their feet, and I see that tsunami starting to circle. Here we go, Iowa Central Tritons with all the flips, getting ready to go. The Tritons wearing the navy blue tops and white pants today, matching with those blue and white helmets. Oh, I've had goosebumps since the beginning of last week. Getting ready to start another season of Iowa Central football. So excited, and what a great way to start the season against the Butler Community College Grizzlies, who the Tritons hosted in the last game of the regular season last year in a barn burner. I know they're each going to be out for some vengeance today, leaving it on the field, and those are those Triton men taking it to the sideline now. All right, let's talk to you about the new head football coach of the Iowa Central Tritons, Colby Cratch. This is fantastic. Coach Cratch is entering his first year as a Tritons head coach. Now, prior to Iowa Central, Cratch was a longtime Iowa State staff member as their linebacker coach from 2024 to 2025, as well as assistant director of player personnel from 2018 to 2022, and a graduate assistant in 2017. Cratch spent 2024 as a linebacker coach for North Texas before returning to Iowa State, and before his arrival in Ames, Cratch spent 2 years from 2015 to 2016 as a graduate assistant at Michigan State, working primarily with the offensive line. Cratch's linebacker group in 2024 helped the Cyclone defense allow just 22.9 points per contest, and Iowa State gave up fewer than 20 points in 6 games, tied for the second most games among the Big 12 teams. And Iowa State's 5 recruiting classes during Cratch's initial Cyclone tenure ranked among the nation's top 50 according to 24/7 Sports. Cratch has had a lot of success, and he has seen all of football operations at every level, and I'm so excited that we get the honor and privilege for him to be the home site of his very first tenure as a head football coach with Iowa Central. I know he's equally as excited as well. Coach Cratch is a native of Watertown, Minnesota, where he was a 3-year letter winner in football and hockey at Watertown Mayer High School and was all-conference in football as a senior. Cratch was also a 2-year letter winner at tight end for Toledo from 2011 and 2012 after playing for North Dakota State College of Science from 2009 to 2010. And something else to note, Cratch's father, Bob Cratch, played 8 years in the NFL for the New York Giants and New England Patriots and was a 2-time All-Big Ten selection at Iowa from 1986 and 1988. So let's welcome in the new head football coach, Colby Cratch. And with the new addition at head coach, he also brings new staff members as well. We've had a lot of turnover this year as far as staff and players are concerned, and we're going to be talking about that throughout the contest today too. But how about we talk about those starting lineups? We're going to start things off with the starting lineups now for the Iowa Central Tritons. Now, this is what I have in the preliminary. I do know that there's a couple players that may be questionable earlier in the week, but I'm going to stick with the automated first team that I got from the beginning. So let's begin with the offense. The Iowa Central Triton starting offense going from left tackle to right tackle. Xavier Cones Ashmore, who is a returner from last season, as a starter, by the way. Cooper Mansfield at left guard, who is a tall beast, listed at 6'9" on the roster sheet. At center, Latorian Hill. Right guard, Trey Williams is expected to start today. If he does not, then it will be Franklin Toussaint. At right tackle, also a returning starter from last season, Michael Smith. At quarterback, Gabe McWilliams, who comes from Highland Community College from last season. Ethan Johnson returns as a starting tailback this season. Your primary three receivers getting the start today: Andrew Genova, Kamari Williams, who returns as a top 10 finisher as far as receiving touchdowns from last season. Your slot receiver will be Heath McCree, and at tight end and playing a hybrid flex role will be Will Gronke. And we will see the Iowa Central Tritons offense up first. We'll go over those defensive starters once they take the field for the first time today. Butler Community College in the gold, white top, and purple pants. And again, the Tritons, of course, in the navy blue, navy helmet, and white pants. And here's the kickoff. This is Genesis to Coach Cratch's first Iowa Central Triton home game of this 2026-2027 season. Thank you so much for joining us for the broadcast. We will have all Iowa Central Triton home broadcasts on the football channel here at Triton Nation. Be sure to also give Triton Nation a follow on all social media accounts. We're on X, Instagram, Facebook, posting Triton athletic clips for all sports on there today, as well as other breaking news coming from the NJCAA. With the new staff with Iowa Central, I would also like to welcome in Nathan Hoagland, who takes over as the streaming director and tech wizard for the Iowa Central Triton Nation crew. He's doing everything behind the scenes for this broadcast, so welcome, Nate. It's great to have you, Nathan. All right, first play of 2026-2027, and it's a handoff to Ethan Johnson, who is going to break a tackle, bounce off another, and then hit the turf, gaining 1 yard in a valiant effort. 2nd and 9 starts things off. Johnson with the carry. Tritons coming back out in the gun. Kamari Williams is the wide receiver, spread to the right. Doubles on the left side. Also Gronke in it, blocking back. Stepping back to pass and looking at a comeback route towards Kamari Williams, who was a star last year. I believe he finished 6th in the nation, possibly, in receiving touchdowns. I might want to recheck that later. And it goes just short of the intended receiver, so it'll stay 3rd and 9. Ball placed on the 26-yard line. Some gray, some blue in the skies today with overcast cloud coverage as well. Again, we have a fantastic attendance for Triton football today, returning many staff members and former football players as we celebrate their football reunion. Here is a dip over towards Ethan Johnson, who, was just a tackler away from breaking free and gaining the first down. He does pick up 4 to 5 yards on the play, so 4th and 4 is coming up, but man, that shoestring tackle is going to get him short of the first down marker. Butler, as usual, comes out strong on defense. They were a top team last year, only with 3 losses, 2 of them to number 1 Iowa Western and to number 2 Hutchinson. And then their 3rd loss came against Coffeyville Community College, who is always a tough opponent. Oh my goodness, a blocked punt. The helmet flies off. A return is coming and a touchdown. The first touchdown of the season goes to Butler Community College. A block punt. The number 25 returns it to the end zone. That's Weston Rose, listed as a linebacker of Towanda, Kansas. My goodness. On the block, I'm not for sure if I got the number on who got the block. Block, punt, return, touchdown to start things off. It's 6-0 with 13 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock. What a start for Butler. So that means we will wait a little longer to introduce you to the Iowa Central Triton defense, as they'll get it back on offense in just a moment. Lining up to take the kick, it's a lefty kicker who sends it through the upright. The PAT is good. It's 7-0. We're going to catch our breath here, and I think we'll take like a 30-second break, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment. Stay with us for the second possession of the Iowa Central Triton offense coming up right after this on Triton Nation. Triton Nation returning to the broadcast and lining up for the second kickoff return of the day. Iowa Central Tritons set back to receive this. I see Marcellus Chandler in the backfield, and they're signaling over to the number 4 for Iowa Central. Returning it now is Tyjon Brooks. Brooks is someone who really impressed me during training camp. I got to sit in on an Iowa Central practice, and I said, who is that? He's a guy who's so explosive. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of him as we go throughout the season. He's shorter in stature. My roster sheet lists him as 5'7", but he has hops. He can get up there. I would not be surprised if he had a over 40-inch vertical. Very impressive player. As the Triton offense comes out for the second time, Ethan Johnson, Gabe McWilliams in the backfield, and 3 receivers to the left, and they're going to try a swing pass to Brooks, who just returned the kickoff, and he'll be tackled in the backfield by the number 27. 27 is defensive back Kyron Axtell of Guthrie, Oklahoma. I mentioned to you that the Iowa Central Tritons starting quarterback heading into today is Gabe McWilliams. McWilliams came from Highland Community College last year, where he was a true freshman. He'll be to pass now, and he will go short over the middle of the field on a short curl and leaning forward, showing some power. I think that might be Gronke. Yeah, that's Will Gronke, tight end of Rockford, Minnesota. I think actually he also spent some time in South Dakota as well. I was talking to Gronke during the preseason. He really impressed me as well. Big body tight end. Reminds me of another Iowa tight end, George Kittle, used as a versatile flex player across the field. Back to passes McWilliams on this 3rd and 7. He's going to fire out towards number 10 on another comeback route. And that pass was intended for Jason Essex, another returning receiver from this past season, originally of Kansas City, Missouri. And the pass goes just above the head of the intended receiver, so back-to-back 3-and-outs to start the Iowa Central Triton offense. I wanted to talk about Gabe McWilliams, though. So he comes from Highland Community College from last season, where he appeared in just 6 games, starting in 1. He did compose an 0-6 record as a player. Now, Highland, they struggled. They had a lot of injuries last season and a lot of turnover themselves, so they went 0-11. So none of that was, I would say, put against Gabe McWilliams. He comes into this program with a fresh start, a new coaching staff, new offensive schemes, and he is like prototype quarterback. He's got speed, a strong arm. He's 6'6", weighs around that 220-pound mark, and he's of Center Grove, Indiana. Indiana has produced a lot of great quarterbacks over the years, and I think Gabe McWilliams certainly has it all to do the exact same. That punt will cross a 50 and make its way just past the 40-yard line, now setting up on the 37, the 38, correct me. Oh. I think I pressed something. I lost my ears. I just turned the main down. Okay. That play will bring up a 2nd and 8 now from the gun. This is the first time we are seeing the Butler Community College offense. They have a returning quarterback from last season. He's going to fire out to a short out route, going to get 5 yards forward and then run another 5 and pick up the first down of the day. That receiver that time was the 82. McNew's pass made it to Larry Taylor of Salina, Texas. Your starting lineups for the Iowa Central Triton defense. Cornerbacks today include Ivan Clark and Zakiri Lakes. On the defensive line, both ends are Charlie Olson and Malachi Brown. The nose tackles, Jaden Moore. Let's watch this play here. Quarterback keeper cutting back up middle of the field after looking like a loss of gainage was the preliminary break. Strong offensive line from Butler able to make a cut inside, and now a gain of 3 officially. 2nd and 7 now in Triton territory, marked on their 48-yard line. And they are right back to the line without a huddle. They execute this no-huddle offense very well, with adjustments needed at the line if necessary. Triangle trips, short stack on the left side, and then a wide out to the right. Also tailback in this set. Here we go. And one jumped offside, so a free play. They don't decide to send it long. Instead, they dump it out into the flats where the tackle is going to be made by the 21 of Iowa Central. All right, as I was saying, for the linebackers, on the weak side, Chase Pearsall. On the strong side, Bat Riak, who's a returner. Middle linebackers, Karsten Bernholtz. Your safeties at free is Miles Taylor. Strong safety is Jakai Parker. And your hybrid safety, the returning Ahmad Grayer. And your special team starters include kicker Anderson Trejo from last year, punter Ashton Lutz, and long snapper Eric Gomez, who we've already seen today. So following that false start, 2nd and 2. Showing a pistol look with a blocking back in package. And now a tackle in the backfield. Good start on defense for 2-3, 2-2. He's got the cutoff. I believe that may be Jordan Coleman of Iowa Central. Yes, it should be. So that's a loss of 2. Now showing a 3rd and 4 on the Triton 45-yard line. Tate McNew tries to draw Triton off sides with a false start. Instead, it's a false start against the offense, so both teams take a blow this drive. And that'll send them back towards the 49-yard line on the Butler Community College side. 3rd and long coming up for Butler Community College. The score is 7-0, 9 minutes and 45 seconds remain in historic Dodger Stadium in Fort Dodge, Iowa. To the gun, sending one in motion out to the left. Oh, had a man there, had an opportunity to get the tackle, get the sack. Fortunately for Iowa Central, the safety came down to pick up the rush from the quarterback on the scramble, and he may be short just by a yard. His short knee just fell short of the first down line to gain. And what looked like a clear first down, it was saved by Bat Riak, one of the returning starters from last season. Riak's a fantastic player, and he can play just about every position on the defensive side of the ball. 4th and inches, lining up in the pistol. 2 wingbacks in the set. And, opportunity tackle, McNew breaks free, ends up outside. Another play that showed nothing turns to something in a first down for Butler Community College. Impressive magician work from McNew, picks up another Butler first down. And that'll break 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. The returning coaching staff from this season for Iowa Central, both on the defensive side of the ball, the long reigning defensive coordinator, legend Coach Jeremy Conley, and also defensive backs Coach Davis. Here is a post over the middle, which will be caught. Great positioning on the throw. McNew led it to the back of the intended receiver, where the safety in coverage was keeping him high in a cloud look. I like the play design. It's just the ball ended up going in favor of Butler that time. First and 10 on the 20-yard line, and Butler Community College has reached the red zone. Doubles on each side in the gun, and this is a handoff to the running back and tackled in the backfield. Hit stick truck. Double team by 7 and 2. That is the beast Mike Lane and Ahmad Grayer, both who played last season for the Triton defense. I was actually looking over some notes on all the returning players or starters from last year. Only 6 Tritons returning this season that recorded a tackle last year. That is a lot to make up for. And that goes for, I think, around 83 players that made a tackle from last season. So that is the most... hang on now. Here's a throw just over towards the flats. The pass is behind the receiver, who does make the catch and picks up some yards to inch him closer to the first down marker and the end zone. As I was saying, though, some of the returners on defense playing in the starting lineups today: Mikey Claycomb, Bat Riak, DJ Davis, Mike Lane, Ahmad Grayer, Marion Williams. On offense, the returners include Jason Essex, Marcellus Chandler, Xavier Cones Ashmore, Jakari Patton, who is listed as the backup quarterback today. Also backup center, Great Nadego. Starting right tackle, Michael Smith's a returner. Starting tailback, Ethan Johnson's a returner. And so is starting receiver, Kamari Williams. So that's all I have for the returning players. Here's a fade route towards the short corner of the end zone. It takes 2 to get it down, and he does. What a grab by the numero uno, Briar Finley. Wow. What a play. 20-yard receiving touchdown. They've worked so well with the short game, picking up the first downs instead. They hit the fade towards the left side of the football field, and it's a second touchdown of the day, but the first of the offense from Butler Community College. Iowa Central Tritons start off on their left foot. They want to try something. Oh, here's a good start. Here's a way to change momentum. Blocked PAT. So that'll keep it 13-0. Atta kid. All right, we're going to have another kickoff return for the Iowa Central Tritons. We just got past the halfway mark of the first quarter. Let's take another about 20-second break. And I will be right back with you in just a moment to see the third drive for this Triton offense. Stay with us on the Triton Nation YouTube channel. Back to your coverage today. Marcellus Chandler is going to be the one on the return. He's got speed. Watch out for him, folks, as he comes all the way up from the end zone towards the middle back of the end zone to the right side of the field. It looks like he's going to be maybe shy of the 20-yard line on the Iowa Central Tritons side. Coach Cratch is going to huddle his men together to get them ready to go for this drive. Tritons want to get set to pick up their first down of the season. Sometimes all it takes is getting that first down, and then everything seems to go smooth after that. It's baby steps from here. Tritons come out once again with Gabe McWilliams, a new tailback in this set. Coming out now is Quadric Jones. Ethan Johnson also out there. Cadillac look from the gun. And Jones gets a handoff. Jones got speed. He tries to break it outside off tackle, but another tackle in the backfield. Once again, those defensive backs that are hovering over the edge of the defensive line have been so good today. John Peters made that tackle. Another kid from Indiana, but went to high school, I guess, in Western Michigan, it shares. 2nd and 11 for this Triton offense. If you're just joining us, welcome to the broadcast. I'm Hank Ambrose with you, covering Triton football for my 7th season. We'll have all home broadcasts right here on the Triton Nation YouTube channel. McWilliams tries to carry his receiver out towards the outer bounds mark in a deep post, and it just goes over the receiver's head and out of bounds. Incomplete. 3rd and 11 coming up for this Triton offense, and they are pedaling back towards their own end zone. Trips to the far side of the field. Lone receiver left. Looks like false start at the line of scrimmage. They're going to call the play dead. I think possibly on the offense. Looked like really it could be both, in fact, but we'll wait for the official call today. I'd like to give a shout out to the Triton Marching Band, conducted by Jeremy Smith. They always bring all the good sounds and good vibes, getting ready for all the fans in the stands for the football contest of the day, or not just the football, but all other home athletics. The Triton cheer and dance team also always puts in fantastic work as well. In fact, I even have some of their schedule to go over later on. Also, we'll be sharing with you some of the upcoming schedule later on in the broadcast, as well as the recent ICCAC Athletes of the Week. Honors for some local Tritons, even some from Fort Dodge. All right, so it looks like they did put it on the defense, so 5 yards moving forward for Iowa Central. They'll get another opportunity. 3rd and medium. Triangle trips to the right on the short side. Receivers out to the left. A short curl route and a gain of maybe 2 or 3 yards on the play, but will be just shy of the first down. I don't think they're going to give him any forward progress as well. He looked pretty backed by that DB. Once again, that play made by John Peters. Butler Community College, always strong and stout. Year in and year out. Always play incredibly aggressive. They're off to a very good start today. Dropping the first 3 offensive drives for the Iowa Central Tritons before they can pick up a first down and leading early 13-0. One of them was a punt block return. That came from the very first couple minutes of the game. And then their latest drive milked about 8 minutes of the clock and wound down to a 20-yard fade route just in the beginning crease of the Triton end zone. That's what brought it to 13-0 after the Tritons blocked the PAT. So Butler Community College will take over once again. Their returning quarterback, Tate McNew, back there once again. And they've ran a committee today at tailback. At this time, I can't see who's out at tailback, but I do see that receiver who made the touchdown not long ago, Briar Finley's out here. Also, Isaiah Anderson Jr. is out here. The handoff will power the 2-1. Isaac Covington of Tulsa, Oklahoma, 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 7 coming up. If you don't know much history about Butler Community College, they play in one of the strongest conferences in JUCO football, the KJCCC. Home site for teams like Highland, as well as Hutchinson Community College, to name a few, and many more. All-Stars, Garden City. Here's a rollout to the left, looking short, and going to be blocked down. Great work from Riak, as well as the Deuce, Ahmad Grayer. Those two are really the brothers of destruction when they're out there together, and that SWAT made it known. I'm telling you, folks, it takes one stop on defense and one first down on offense, and things are going to turn around for the Iowa Central Tritons. Getting their ducks in a row. This is a 3rd and 7. They know that they can pass well. Look at this coverage. They have a cover 4 covering for the line at that first down marker, showing zone and also stacking the box pretty clean. You may also see that there's some speed down there on that edge, and they end up sending 4 and incomplete pass. Great work from the Triton defense. Conley makes the call and gets the stop. 4th and 7 coming up, and we're going to likely see our first punt return for this Triton special teams unit. And they will send Chandler out as a return man. Some more kind of fun recent history of Butler Community College. Last season, they had an athlete who had one of the best names in college football. I know he was brought up a bunch of times throughout ESPN and other sports networks. Dakotas Crawford, if that name rings a bell. He played some ball with them last season. I digress. We get back to the contest. Tritons field it at the 15, move forward past the 20 to the 25 and near the 30. And there is a flag thrown. There's maybe a couple flags. One near the tackler. We might see a block in the back. It kind of looked like the man who was headed for the tackle. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to likely be called against the Tritons unless there's an offsetting penalty. So the Tritons, who were set to start at around the 25-yard line, will be moved back to the I tried to hear it, but I didn't make it out. They have the referee mics out on the field, but I think they're still warming up from last season. Yeah, this looks like what was called maybe a block in the back. So the Tritons will give up a lot of yardage, and they're going to head back to their own 10-yard line, 1st and 10. McWilliams, hands off, powering forward, lowering the shoulder, breaking the line of scrimmage. 2 or 3 should be awarded on the carry at least. On that carry, I think Armstrong. Yeah, that looked like it was Max Armstrong on the carry. 2nd and 8 coming up for Iowa Central. Got bunched inside to the right. Lone receiver out left, back to pass, and tried to fire over the middle, but there was pressure fairly quick, and I don't know, maybe a miscommunication between the routes. Looked like the intended receiver maybe was Brooks, kind of towards over the middle of the field. Looked like it was supposed to be some sort of mesh concept, or at least a deeper comeback over the middle. 3rd and 8, back to the gun for Iowa Central. Gronke is lined up to the outside of the left tackle, and we have some more motion at the line of scrimmage. 51 will be sent out. 51s are starting interior defensive lineman Justin Mitchell. He'll be sitting out for a play. Now, are they going to tag a Triton for a same offense? Not for sure. I do see a substitution, though. Armstrong going to come out, and that's a false start. So 5 yards forward, that's now going to be much more manageable. 3rd and 3 on the way from the Tritons' 17-yard line. Have to break the 20. Doubles on each side, back to the gun. Ethan Johnson is the tailback. He'll be sent in motion to the right side of the field. Looking at him, he's open. He's going to get the check down. He'll be thrown. Still on his feet and running. Ethan Johnson running forward and bumbling past the 20, past the 30, and headed diving past the 35-yard line. We have some brotherly love going down by the 37-yard line. The first Triton first down creates some friction, some sparks. There go the Tritons moving the line again. Back to the gun. Twins left, and a handoff back to Johnson. Johnson is going to get past the line of scrimmage maybe for a yard. I think this will be 2nd and 9 coming up. 2:45 remains in the first quarter. 13-0. Butler Community College leading this one. They have contained the line of scrimmage very well against the Tritons thus far. It's been a battle of the trenches early on in this contest. Back to the gun. McWilliams, the quarterback. Gronke is also to the right. It's a handoff. Going outside. Johnson breaks 2 tackles, and now he's going to truck forward, getting past the 40-yard line and getting tackled, getting stopped at the 41-yard line on the Tritons side. Iowa Central, the navy and white, purple, and gold for Butler Community College today. Last season, these two closed out the regular season right here at the home of the Tritons at Dodger Stadium. Tritons finished 7-4 overall. 7-3 was the finish for Butler Community College. Here's the pistol, 3rd and 4. McWilliams roaming out to his left side, and he's going to tuck and run, and another big hit. McWilliams is tough, though. A Goliath, but tackled by the number 8, and his helmet flies off. We've seen a couple helmets fly off, only on the Butler side, though. Might need to have those tightened by the equipment manager over on their side. Cameron Green, linebacker, originally of Tallahassee, Florida, made that tackle. So now a 4th and 8 is coming up. Fourth and 8. Have some miscommunication, looks like, from the punting squad. 4th and 8. The punt team is out. One man back to return. The punt rockets high. It'll take a bounce more in favor of Butler Community College, and it will roll out of bounds around the 36-yard line over on their side. 49 seconds remain in the first quarter. We've seen 3 drives on offense from Iowa Central, 2 from Butler, one of those resulting in a 20-yard receiving touchdown for Briar Finley. The other touchdown today came from a block punt return. That opened up the first special teams look, rather than the kickoff, that is. Second to just the kickoff. As I said, last year's contest, 28-24, Butler Community College took it in a barn burner. I want to talk more about that in just a moment. Here's a handoff inside zone that's going to be swallowed up. Clothesline by 99 of Iowa Central. That's Jaden Moore. Belmar, New Jersey. Wow. And by the way, he was meant to be an Iowa Central Triton. You know where he went to high school? Triton Regional. How about that? Triton for life for Jaden Moore. Defensive lineman lined up just shy of the ball there. 2nd 11, rolling out right. 2 additional blockers if need be. Throwing over the middle of the field and almost intercepted. I couldn't find any receivers in coverage. The Tritons were so good pressing their man and keeping all eyes on those intended receivers. 3rd and long coming up. 3rd and long. This is the longest look that Butler Community College has got to face here. 11 seconds remain in the first quarter, so this could very well be the final play of quarter number 1. See if Iowa Central can go out on their own terms. 3 safeties in cover 3, bringing back towards the first down marker. Here's a handoff, trying to break outside. He's not going to. Tackled by 4-7, who almost had the interception a play ago. Karsten Bernholtz, linebacker of Ankeny High. And that'll be the end of quarter number 1. 13-0, Butler Community College leads so far. We are going to take a 30-second break, and when we come back, we will get ready for the 4th and 11, but also we will introduce you to the new Iowa Central Triton offensive coaching staff. We got a handful of new coaches heading into this season. We'll be right back in 30 seconds on Triton Nation. Triton Nation, with the band sounding back into the broadcast. I'm Hank Ambrose with you. Stream director Nathan Hoagland. I'd like to welcome him again. We are 1 quarter down into the 2026-2027 Iowa Central football season with a 4th and 11 coming up and showing punt as Chandler is set back to return the kick. New Iowa Central coaching staff. There are plenty of new coaches this season. In fact, the only 2 returners, Jeremy Conley, defensive coordinator, longtime defensive coordinator, and also the secondary coach, Coach Davis. For the new coaches, head football coach Colby Cratch, but also recruiting coordinator and offensive line coach Quincy Griffith, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Kyle Goldman, wide receivers coach Bryce Kinsey, and special teams coordinator and running back coach Coach Feasel. I have some information on some of those coaches too that I'll share with you. Coach Goldman, a native of Los Angeles, California, he previously was at Lyon College as their football coach with the linebackers and film coordinator. He also spent some time at Union College out in New York. Other than that, he's incredibly smart. Goldman holds a Bachelor of Science degree in neuroscience from Union College. Wow. For an offensive coordinator, he's meant to be the next great play caller and playmaker, so we're looking forward to bring him to Iowa Central. Here is a great run for the Tritons. After what, again, looked like was going to be maybe a tackle in the backfield, turned it into a gain of 9 or 8 on the play. Looks like gain of 8 on the play. On the jet sweep, Tyjon Brooks, we mentioned earlier in the contest, makes a long play there. They'll officially give him 7, so 2nd and 3 coming up. Bryce Kinsey, the wide receivers coach, also came from Lyon College, where he was the wide receiver coach there. He also spent some time at the Lakeland football program. He's originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, and earned his degree in sports management and leadership from Lakeland University. Let's check this next play before we talk more about the coaching staff. Third and short now. Got to get to the 40. Back to the pistol. Hand off, and it's going to be clear for a first down and more. EJ, Ethan Johnson, not only works his way past the 40, but crosses center field. It's 1st and 10 in Butler territory on their own 48, and it's hurry-up offense. Back to the pistol, looking like we're going to do the same slash right up the middle, and maybe a 2-yard gain that go around. And oh, they're saying fumble, maybe no, the line judge on the far side saying the knee was down. 41 broke after the play, holding the football, which is Michael Riles. However, line judge said he's down, and it looks like they're going to stay with that, so 2nd down and about 9 coming up. Quincy Griffith is a new Iowa Central coach this season, the offensive line coach. He spent 4 years as a player at Wartburg College, where he won 2 IIAC titles, and twice was named All-IIAC player. Pass trying to throw over towards the left side sideline, and it goes incomplete. 3rd and 8 coming up. As far as his coaching experience, Coach Griffith spent some time at Carlisle High School. They've had a historic program. He was also a linebackers coach at Illinois Wesleyan University, also tight ends coach at University of Central Missouri. He spent some time at Wayne State College in Nebraska. He also helped win some conference championships in 2018 for the CCIW and also the MAIA and NSIC with Central Missouri. Helped get the Mules offense and leading them in all of NCAA Division II yards per game with 550 yards per game and 49 points per game. In fact, he even coached tight end Zach Davidson, an eventual 5th-round draft pick to the Minnesota Vikings. With all that, he also spent some coaching time at Drake College in Des Moines. We have another coach to introduce you to in just a moment after we had the false start. 3rd and long here. Here's the throw over towards Kamari Williams, who has blockers. Williams heads outside, going to be at the 40-yard line. 4th and 2 coming up. Iowa Central, will they go for it? They might try to at least draw them off sides. Great play by the returning leader, Kamari Williams. 4th and 2 coming up. On the 40. Need to put the ball past the 38. Single back, pistol look, bunch trips, one receiver out left. Handoff, and Johnson breaks one, tries to break another, but he cannot, and he's going to be crowded just before the line of scrimmage. It's a turnover on downs. 12 minutes, 23 seconds remain in the first half, and that's where the Butler offense will take over. And rounding out the new coaching staff for Iowa Central Community College, I'd like to bring up him, Coach Fiesel, who is the special teams coordinator and running backs coach this season. He spent some time with Dodge City working as the offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach. Helped the Conks post a 6-4 record with his first year and finish fourth in the KJCCC and number 15 in the overall NJCAA rankings. 4 players on his offense earned KJCCC All-Conference during the 2024 season. He comes from Mississippi, where he spent the last 2 seasons at Coahoma Community College, where he worked as the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks and running backs coach. So that will round out all of the coaching staff of the new members for Iowa Central this season. We welcome them. Following the first play, apologize, I missed it there, 2nd and 4 to the 48. Zone handoff. No, it's a play action. They got me on the bite. Throwing over the middle, and Ahmad Grayer's there to put the hands up, and that's all ball. Ahmad Grayer. How about that vision and being able to soar in and swat it down? 3rd and 4 coming up on the 48 for Butler Community College. 11:41 on the clock. This weekend is the Iowa Central Triton football reunion. Started on the 27th, and this is the big showcase today for this game day. The parking lot is full. The streets are crowded with former players, coaches, and other staff leaders from years in the past. Here's a big tackle in the backfield. 18, DJ Davis. Fourth and short. Looking at a 4th and 4 here from the 49. And initial look shows the punting unit coming back out. Marcellus Chandler is the return man deep. He's going to be setting his feet just inside the 20-yard line on the Triton side. Defensive affair so far in this one. And before we get any more action, Coach Kratch will take a timeout. So with Coach, we'll take a timeout too. We'll be back in 30 seconds for more with Iowa Central football. Stay here on Triton Nation. Triton Nation back to the action here. Coming out of Coach Kratch's timeout. 4th and 4 there showing, looks like a punt coverage. Some zone, anticipating some sort of fake. Here's the punt that's going to roll past the 20, past the 15, and will land almost inside the 10-yard line for the Tritons to start up. Tritons have had pretty tough field positioning to start their offensive drives. Every one of their drives today, they have started either on the 25-yard line or inside the 20-yard line. Even this previous drive had them starting inside their own 15, which they were able to make it to around the 40-yard line before being stopped. It is 13-0. Had a punt return block touchdown for Butler Community College to set the tone today, and then Butler Community College had a 20-yard receiving touchdown via Briar Finley from earlier. Tritons starting the pistol. They hand out with a stretch. Ethan Johnson follows his blocks. Great vision to carry outside. Genova loses his helmet. He's going to have to sit out a play. That long gain is going to be solid for around 6 yards. Looks like a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 between those splits coming up. Back to a similar look on offense, showing the pistol once again. Man in motion is Chandler. Here's a short toss to Johnson. Johnson cuts up the middle of the field again. Fantastic vision. Breaking past the 20. Another gain, this time of 2 at least, maybe 3. Not a kid. Last 2, when these faced off against each other, Butler Community College got the win here at Dodger Stadium, 28-24, in a thriller. 3rd and 1, huge moment here for the Triton offense. Just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Time is winding down from Fort Dodge, Iowa for game number 1. Here's a handoff. Ethan Johnson once again bounces off of defenders with the help of his beast offensive lineman, and a first down for Iowa Central. Moves the chains. 1st and 10 coming up. In that matchup from last season, it was the last regular season game of the year. Butler defeated Iowa Central 28-24, and Butler came right from behind and were able to hold Iowa Central. I think one of the main things that it came down to was the defensive stops that Butler Community College was able to make. They held Iowa Central to 44%, 7 of 16 on 3rd down conversion. And that was a team last year who had some of the best 3rd down conversions in the country. So Butler Community College has done the same thing today. They've made the stops they've needed to. Coming from the 5-yard carry, 2nd and 5. The outpost is going to be incomplete, so 3rd and 5 coming up. So Butler Community College playing very similar to each year that Iowa Central Triton, the Tritons have seen them. I think today it also helps that they have that returning star quarterback, Tate McNew. And he's originally of Wichita, Kansas. Back to pass, Try to hit a short cross over the middle of the field. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Heath McCree with his first target of the season. Heath is of Westlake, Texas. 4th and 5 coming up. Tritons fail to pick up their second first down of the drive, and they'll show the punt team. The punter, Ashton Lutz, long snapper, Eric Gomez. And one deep return man for Butler Community College. Another sky-high kick, punted all the way past the 20, fielded at the 15, getting back to the 20, 21, and now going to be pushed out of bounds. Pushed out of bounds by 10, the first man there for Iowa Central. Jaden Harris made the tackle. Stick around, halftime. We are going to take a break. Triton Marching Band is going to perform another number, putting together an awesome medley as they always do, conducted by Jeremy Smith. But also, I'll be telling you about the recent ICCAC Athletes of the Week, which includes some Tritons. Also, we'll be talking about the Iowa Central Triton Golf All-America Scholar. I'll also be sharing with you some of the recap of last season, including what happened at the Game 1 Bowl in Cedar Falls. McNew keeps it for himself and tackled in the backfield. This time, it's the 5, Miles Taylor. It's an Iowa kid. Played high school ball at Bettendorf from Davenport, Iowa. 2nd and 9 coming up. Like I said, going over the Game 1 Bowl. And I'll be sharing with you some information on the Triton dance schedule as well. You can expect to see them at all of the Iowa Central football home games, but they're also going to be traveling to different home matchups too for other sports, and also they'll be traveling away in a couple competitions too. Very good gain from the stretch. 3rd and 1 coming up. Butler has landed short of the line to gain a couple times in the contest. 8 minutes remain in the second quarter. They've done a great job at controlling the clock. I will say, if there's one thing that has changed from last season, I feel like Butler Community College has they have gone with the hurry-up offense. That's something that definitely is a staple of their scheme. Here's a inside zone, and a first down is going to be picked up. But as I was saying, their tempo is much more melodical. They are definitely easing into their time, and I understand they've had the lead since the opening minutes of the contest, so I'm sure that probably has something to do with it too. But even in years past when I've called Triton football against Butler Community College, they've seemed to go fast and full tempo all throughout. I do have some information on Butler Community College too, and their coaching staff as well coming up. That'll be later today, likely in the third quarter. Zone read and gain of maybe one. 2nd and 9 coming up. Good to hear Brownie, the voice of the Triton Marching Band and the voice of Triton Athletics, who you can hear at all the home contests. He's back announcing for today and sharing with the crowd the different logistics and lineup before the play is set. 2nd and 9, back to the gun. Doubles right. 1H back in the set. He's going to travel to the left, and the throw. Oh, wow. What a pass. Great touch. Good arc to somehow get over the Triton defender who stuck to his hip the whole time. And the toe drag swag, Briar Finley again, who made a similar play like that earlier, but was in the end zone the last time he did. Just on that short little fade, curl, comeback, hovering towards the outside of the out-of-bounds line, makes the first down and carries them to the 45-yard line on the Butler side. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Clock still winding down. They started this possession with 8.5 minutes remaining. Handoff, and, still carrying it. Oof, a swarm of Tritons. Just a whole bunch of men out there making the tackle. That's a dog pile. I couldn't tell you who got there first. 2nd and 7 coming up. I hear Brownie calling Twan Wilson, who made the tackle. That was another returning man with the Tritons last season. 2nd and 7. Back to the gun for Butler. Running back to the right of the quarterback, and he does get the handoff. And first attempted tackles miss, but then he's going to be clobbered at the line of scrimmage. Maybe bounced forward, and it looks like he did. Gain of 1 or 2 on the play, and we do have an injured man on the field. Looks like it's the tight end, 88 of Butler Community College. Darius Felton is what I have listed as his name. He is able to get back up to his feet. Looks like he's okay, maybe just has a stinger, and will get stretched out. Knock on wood that he's okay. 3rd and 5, empty backfield. That's the first time we've seen it today from Butler. 3 right, 2 left. And also mid-zone coverage. Triton showing rush. And they do blitz. And they swat it down. Great way to get the swat. Who got it? I think it was maybe either off the hands of the 21 on the Triton defense, which I don't have listed, unfortunately. That might be Jordan Coleman, who I have on my sheet as 22. Maybe he's wearing the 21 today. I know Chandler on offense also wears the 21. I think it might have been him. All right, that sets a 4th and 5, showing punt once again. Marcellus Chandler is back to return. Feet on the 18 on the Triton side. And the kick is up in the air at 4:35 remaining in the first half. Chandler with the fair catch at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for Iowa Central. Again, starting in non-favorable positioning. First and 10. Iowa Central. They're still putting their strings together. This is just the first game of the season. Back to pass, showing a deep comeback, and the catch is made. Grab made by Tyshawn Brooks. And right away, a Triton first down. He's a sneaky threat. As I told you in the first quarter, he impressed me a lot in preseason camp. 5'7", super hops, and great hands, obviously, as he makes that catch. 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line now. Handoff to 20 from the gun, Quadric Jones. Dances up the middle, makes it 2nd and 3 coming up. Second and 3 to the 28-yard line. Back to gun, 2 left, 1 right. H-back in the set. Tyshawn Brooks once again gets the reception. Brings it forward. Works past the first down line. 4th reception of the day for Tyshawn Brooks. 2 of them have been caught this drive, as he picks another first down up for the Iowa Central Tritons. 3 minutes remain in the second quarter. Iowa Central received the first half kickoff, so they will be kicking off to begin the second half. Towards the end of halftime, with a couple minutes remaining, we're going to have a couple different reports for you. Here's a deep ball, Kamari Williams, who makes the catch, spin move, still on his feet, then tackled. Double cover, did not matter. Kamari Williams, the superstar. Hang on, we have some dirty laundry on the field. Maybe back towards the initial line of scrimmage. This would be a heartbreaking false start. Waiting for the official call. Offsides defense declined. Even with that in favor of Butler, it doesn't matter. Double team him again, I dare you. Kamari Williams will go up and grab it. That's also, I believe, the first catch of the game for Kamari. That's a pretty dang good first catch of the season for the sophomore. All right, we are going to have some new personnel in for Iowa Central. I just saw Oluwatobi Flubi come in, another back from Missouri. 3 set in the back. Play action, short pass over the middle of the field. Oh, almost had Gronke, the split end, who was crossing just over the middle, over the seam, and it just went through his hands. Oh, that looked like money. Loved that play design. Showed the distraction with new faces in the backfield, and then went with the first target of the day towards Gronke, just a little over his hands. 2nd and 10, ball on the 22-yard line. It's the first time this Triton offense is in the red zone. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remain. I see the Triton marching band are getting ready to blare the horns and beat the drums too. Here's a throw back towards Williams, towards the first down marker. And that high timing was just a little off, I think, between QB and receiver. Third and 10, staying on the 22-yard line. Gonna need a big play. Gotta believe in IC. I hear the chant from the sideline. Crowd trying to get these Tritons moving. Here we go, jet sweep. Tyshawn Brooks. Brooks doesn't have a lot to work with, and he'll be tackled back towards the 28-yard line. Maybe a loss of 6 on the play. Oof. Oh, what's the call? Oh, timeout called. Thank you. Shout out Nathan for the help. Timeout is the call, so 4th and 14 is on the way. In fact, it's the 2-minute mark, so that's the break in the action. Iowa Central has 2 timeouts remaining. The Grizzlies still keep all 3 timeouts. It'll be interesting to see what they call here. The ball is going to be marked on the 26-yard line. Anderson Trejo is the place kicker for Iowa Central. I don't know if I have his career high or not, but I think it's in the realm of 42, 43, which the ball's on the 26, a couple yards back. If Trejo were to kick this, and it would be, I believe, along his career high. I wish I had the exact number for you. I might somewhere. I'll see what they do. I also see that they're warming up 29. Okay, that is Trejo. Trejo, I think, wore a different number last year. Still looking. Yeah, Trejo wore 47 last year. I'm trying to see if I have his longest. His longest is a 41-yard field goal. So, what would that bring it? Ball on the 26, couple yards back. Yeah, it'd be in the realm of his longest. Trejo is going out there. He's wearing the number 29. You see he's got two different colored boots on. Let's see if he can hit this. McWilliams will be the holder, and he's placed at the 33, so this would be a 43-yard field goal. This would be his career longest by 2 yards. Can Trejo hit it? Anderson Trejo steps up. The kick is up, and it is... Oh, no good. It was close. It looked like it was maybe just a little shy and a little to the right. With a little more oomph, I think he would have been cleared to make it in the uprights. The field goal attempt is no good. Still staying at 13-0. No score from the second quarter thus far. 1 minute and 54 seconds remain. Grizzlies take over on the 26-yard line, and they have all 3 timeouts remaining in the first half. And the Tritons, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Coach Cratch took one earlier, setting up a punt prevent conversion. Tackle there for Iowa Central. That time made by Karsten Bernholtz, a star out of Ankeny High. 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line coming up. Minute and a half to go and timeout called. Unless it's an official's timeout. The Butler coach on the far side is disgruntled at something. Oh, clock. Good call. Thanks again to Nathan. Help me out. Sometimes it can be hard to see everything going on all around the field. Is that the play clock didn't reset? Is that right? Yeah, play clock did not reset. So coach is going to come out and talk to the Stripes about it. Second and 7 remains the same. Now the play clock is back at 25. And the game clock is running now. 1 minute, 25 seconds remain. Back to the gun. 2 left, 1 right. Keep an eye on that lengthy receiver, Briar Finley, who wears the number 1. He's being pressed by the number 3, Ivan Clark, for Iowa Central. And coach is going to keep it all the way down until it hits the 1 minute, 3 second mark by the time they take their first timeout. So the Grizzlies know that they want to keep driving it, but they certainly want to continue to milk the clock down to give Iowa Central no chance at putting a drive together to close this second quarter. 2nd and 7 from the 29 is coming up. I talked about how there's a lot of new names and faces this year for Iowa Central Community College. One returning quarterback, Jakari Patton, who's listed as the backup for today's game. He did make 6 completions last year, a part of the 204 total from last season. Also 12 attempts out of the 364 attempts. He had 1 passing touchdown and threw an interception from last year. That 1 passing touchdown made up the 32 passing touchdowns from last year for Iowa Central. So 31 passing touchdowns to make up, and also 2,847 passing yards to make up from this past season. And it's being led by Gabe McWilliams, the new starting quarterback for this season. Ethan Johnson, Marcellus Chandler, Jakari Patton all had carries last season. They made up 400, let's see here. They made up 103 rushing yards last year out of 436. Hang on, we are back to the action, back to the gun. Handing off and tackled near the line of scrimmage. Now looks like Coach Cratch will take a timeout. Yep, 3rd and 8, so that's a loss of 1 on play. Continuing to talk about some of the yards to be made up for this season. Oh, I said rushing yards from last year. That wasn't right. Excuse me. So out of the nearly 700 rushing yards that Ethan Johnson, Marcellus Chandler, and Jakari Patton made last year, that still leaves nearly 1,700 yards to make up for the previous season. The Tritons were able to put together 199 rushing yards a game, and with their averages, that would need to make up 136 rushing yards a game. Also, with those 3 returning ball carriers, they put together 5 rushing touchdowns last year. Overall, as a team last year, there was 28 rushing touchdowns, so that's 20 rushing touchdowns making up the difference. I know one of the areas of improvement that the Iowa Central Tritons wanted to make heading into this season is holding on to the football. The Tritons averaged about a fumble a game. They fumbled 10 times last season and gave up 7. So that's an area that they were looking at. 4 receivers returned this year. Kamari Williams last year posted 27 receptions, 513 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. Chandler, 24 receptions, 258 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Ethan Johnson also caught 8 balls for 57 yards. And Jason Essex, he had 7 receptions for 137 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Here's a big 3rd and 7, tackled again in the backfield by a Triton storm of 4 players, and that will force a 4th and 7 coming up. And Coach will take his final timeout with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. The Iowa Central Tritons may be able to muster one final drive. Excellent coaching coordination from the Triton staff. Great work by the Triton defense to be able to make the stop as well to give their offense an opportunity. Now that will only be if there is no fake trick play that somehow makes Butler get the ball or the first down back from this upcoming 4th and 7. I do see that the Triton punt return unit is getting ready. Chandler, wearing the 21, is in the back of the huddle. Coach Fiesel, I'm sure, is probably anticipating the guys to be ready for the exact snap count, as I'm sure you'd expect them to maybe draw some of the Tritons off sides at the line of scrimmage. Also sharing, I'm sure, to anticipate a possible trick or fake. Butler can be sneaky. They do have one safe man at least roaming at around the 42-yard line. Chandler is on the Triton 39, anticipating to field this punt. The punt comes in. High kick, just crosses the 50. Chandler, fair catch, and he's going to be setting up Iowa Central at the 48-yard line. Wow, that was best case scenario. Tritons actually brought the pressure and almost blocked the punt, and instead of getting a 50-yard punt or so, instead they're only going to make around a 25-yard punt, and that puts Iowa Central at the 47-yard line. The best field positioning so far in today's game for the Triton offense. Unfortunately, there's only 43 seconds left in the first half, so it's going to be tough, but not impossible. Also, no timeouts, keep in mind. The clock will briefly stop if a first down is picked up until the ball is placed, just like at the D1 level. Gunn trips right, one receiver left, back to pass, looking right, looking at an open man, going for Williams, and I don't know if that was catchable. There was some contact, but the pass incomplete. I think if the ball was just a little closer to intended receiver Kamari Williams and maybe could have drew a PI or a defensive holding even. It was just a little out of reach. 2nd and 10, 37 seconds to go. Ball remains on the 47 on the Triton side. Back to pass, McWilliams. Looking over the middle of the field, Kamari Williams! Oh, just overthrows him. Just overthrows him. Had him. Great play design once again, streaking over the middle of the field. They certainly now know that Kamari Williams is the deep threat. Made that big grab earlier, and now they target him twice here. And this is such a tough spot. What do you call here if you're the Triton offense? 32 seconds remain. No timeouts. It's a 3rd and 10. If you don't get it and if you rush the ball to try to take the clock away, Butler could take a timeout. And they do hand off. It is Armstrong. Armstrong breaks free up the middle. Does he have the first down? He might. Yes, they say first down. First down. Just got 10 yards. Exactly what they needed. Wow, that couldn't have worked any better. 22 seconds to go. Hurry up offense. Back to pass. McWilliams. Send 4 out with Verts. Going long. Is he holding them? Ugh. He definitely grabbed the jersey, but again, I don't know if it was a catchable pass, so I think that's why the line judge doesn't draw a flag. It was close, but just, I think, out of reach. 2nd and 10, 41-yard line, 14 seconds to go. I think in this scenario, you could try to do a deep outpost and try to get a man out of bounds, or take a couple shots to the end zone to close the half. They will go with the outpost, and this time the reception is made by the number 9 of Iowa Central, Sincere Brown, another returning receiver of Normal, Illinois. What a catch, too. Put it right in the breadbasket. Very good throw from McWilliams. 10 seconds remain after he gets out of bounds on the 26-yard line. Now, Coach Cratch can make a decision and maybe take a field goal. One missed field goal from earlier, but we're getting back into the zone for Anderson Trejo. McWilliams tries to get outside, almost was sacked. Tritons, you can tell, are trying to get a flag to go their way for the receivers, but again, it doesn't happen. Now 4 seconds remain. Great work by McWilliams to put the ball in play. If he were to be sacked, then likely the clock would have ran out, which is 4 seconds to go, and it looks like Tritons will try a field goal. Got some time here on the play clock, 20 seconds winding down. The holder is placed on the 33, so officially this will be a 43-yard attempt. The exact amount from just a drive ago from Anderson Trejo with an opportunity. He gets a second chance at it. He kicks, and it's good! Anderson Trejo with his career-long set on the first game of the season. Puts it through the upright. I knew he would. Made the correction he needed, just a slight adjustment, and those 3 points are the first of the day for Iowa Central. It's 13-3, courtesy of Anderson Trejo and the quick ball movement from the Triton offense. That's the end of the first half. We will bring you more coverage to begin the second half, and with a couple minutes remaining in the halftime report, we are going to run down a couple things, including the Game 1 Bowl from last season, the recap there, also the ICCAC Athletes of the Week, and we'll be talking about the star golfer Peyton Walker, who's made some headlines, and we'll give you the Triton dance schedule. And all of those things are coming up in the realm of about 15 minutes, so expect us back here at around 1:27 or so. For Iowa Central football, we'll be back in 15 right here on Triton Nation. Triton Nation, welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Hank Ambrose with your play-by-play coverage today. Still have 2 minutes on this halftime clock, so plenty of time for us to go over some of the things that I wanted to share with you. First of all, the score, 13-3. Shout out to Anderson Trejo, the returning place kicker for the Iowa Central Tritons. He just hit his career-long field goal. He had the exact same attempt earlier in the second quarter where he missed, made the adjustment he needed to, and that's what brought the first Triton points on the board at 13-3. The other scores came from a punt block return touchdown made by Weston Rose of Butler Community College, and Briar Finley, that star wide receiver number 1, had a 20-yard receiving touchdown off of a shallow fade route. It came from a third and short scenario. Tritons tried to bring in the pressure, expecting maybe a shorter pass or a rush, and they just got it over their head. So Butler has played strong, but the Iowa Central Tritons have matched them well. I think it's a lot more even than what the score represents, especially knowing that Iowa Central, I think, are just getting back into their first groove of things, figuring out their live schemes. This is the first game of the season, and it was so cool, by the way, to see all of those Iowa Central Triton football alumni, former players, coaching staff, other staff members that have been honored today with the first ever football reunion weekend. It started 2 days ago, and this is the big celebration, watching the Iowa Central football team in their first regular season game of the year. So we welcome everybody to the broadcast and everybody here in Fort Dodge who is a Triton football alumni celebrating this weekend. Also saw the Triton band and the marching band and dance team, who are always great. Things to know: Triton dance schedule has been posted. This is their first contest of the year as well. They will be back for the next home game on the 5th of September versus Ellsworth, and then they'll be at ISDTA for the Recruit Combine at Grandview on September 13th. October 17th, they'll be here for Triton football versus Iowa Western. October 18th, they'll be at the Fall Recruit Prep Clinic, and that's going to be located at the Triton Dance Studio. October 31st, the Halloween Kids Clinic at the Triton Dance Studio. November 5th, the Homecoming Pep Rally, the Triton football game against Hutchinson. November 7th. November 29th, they'll have the ISDTA State Send-Off at Hodges Fieldhouse. And closing the year in December on the 4th at the ISDTA State Dance Competition at the Casey Center in Des Moines. And they also have events February through May of next year as well. In fact, you can find the full Triton dance schedule online at Iowa Central Athletics by going over to the co-ed athletics tab and then just going down to Triton Dance, and they'll have all sorts of information on there, including different addresses and start times for their events as well. The Iowa Central Tritons kick off to begin the third quarter. Again, the score is 13-3. I do have the Iowa Central Triton starters. Maybe we should go over those one more time while we have them. Let's start with the defense, maybe. The Triton starting defense, and since we're going to see them in just a moment. Your defensive line: Charlie Olson, Jaden Moore, Malachi Brown. At linebacker today, Chase Pearsall, Karsten Bernholtz, and Bat Riek. Your safeties include Miles Taylor, Jackie Parker, Ahmad Grayer. At cornerback, Ivan Clark and Zakir Leaks. And we'll share those offensive starters when we see them take the field for the first time in the second half. The handoff starts the second half, and the tackle is made by 18 for Iowa Central, starting with DJ Davis. 2nd and 10 coming up. And shout out to Nathan, who takes over as the streaming director this year. He's helping me out big time with some of the different ref calls and such. Sometimes it's hard to hear with the headset on. Also, pulled up some additional stats too. I have some of the Butler starting lineups too. I'll get to in just a second. Off tackle run is going to be tackled just to the left of the alignment. 3rd and 7 coming up. Triton defense looking strong to get things started here in this second half. And we just got to the 14-minute mark. The starting offense for them, from left to right of the offensive line: Caden Carter, Alonzo Gillen, Cooper J, Nolan Center, and Gus Benson. At tight end, Asher Bowie. Wide receivers today include Briar Finley, Isaiah Anderson, and Howard Peoples. At running back, Max Armstrong. And at quarterback, Tate McNew. They try a deep seam, a flyover route towards the middle of the field. And that intended pass was over towards Anderson. However, it was over his head and incomplete, so a 3-and-out to start things in the second half. Conley's crew gets the stop, and now they will send out the punting team. Marcellus Chandler is the man back deep to return, anticipating the punt. They have a pretty safe punt look. And the punt is up, rocketing past the 50, 40, 30, 20, down to the 10. The bounce gets to the 1-yard line. Oh, my. That almost was the punt of the year already in game number 1. It almost died right at the 1-yard line, but no, it does take a Triton bounce into the end zone, so the Tritons will start up in semi-favorable position. I also wanted to share some notable things that have happened around Iowa Central recently, including Peyton Walker, named to the Cobalt Golf All-America Scholar, including one of Triton's golf team being recognized. Now, he was recognized back on August 4th of this year. Peyton finished his year with 1 win with Iowa Central at the Spring Invitational, 6 top 10 finishes, and a 75 scoring average with 27 rounds played. In the classroom, he was fantastic too. Peyton held a 3.57 cumulative GPA. Throw over the middle of the field, Tyshon Brooks makes the catch, makes the spin move, and is going to fall forward another 2 or 3 yards. It's a gain of about 13 on the play. 1st and 10 right away from the first play of the second half for Iowa Central on offense. Other things with Walker to note: to be eligible for Cobalt Golf All-America Scholar, an individual must be a sophomore, junior, or senior both academically and athletically in NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA, or receiving their associate's degree. Here's a handoff now to Ethan Johnson. The helmet is pulled off. That'll be a face mask call. Ooh, I hope Ethan's okay. He gets up and looks like he is. He's a tough kid. That's frustrating to have your face mask pulled off. I was seeing that he was getting taped at the sideline to close the second half too. It looks like he's good. We'll keep a close eye on him. So that'll be an automatic first down and a gain of 15 from the face mask. Tritons move the rock again. More on this Peyton Walker. We're talking about the Cobalt Golf All-America Scholar nomination. In addition to all of those athletic needs and needs in the classroom, they must participate in 50% of their team competitive rounds, have a stroke average under 77 in the NJCAA, and maintain a minimum cumulative career grade point average of 3.2. A recipient must also be of a high morale character and be good in standing at their college or university. 21 NJCAA athletes from 10 schools earned the nomination this year, and one of them is Peyton Walker with the Iowa Central Triton golf team. So I wanted to bring him up too because that's a really big deal and just awesome work for him. And I also have the ICCAC Athletes of the Week that we'll talk about later. Handoff. McWilliams gives to Quadric Jones following the 2nd and 5. Maybe a loss of 1. 3rd and 6 coming up. 12 minutes to go in this third quarter. Back to the gun, McWilliams. Trips left, 1 right. It's Kamari. They're targeting him in a deep curl route. Kamari makes a catch, breaks a tackle, and pushed out of bounds. Kamari Williams. 1 more tackler to go, and he'd be off to the races for the first Triton touchdown of the season. Iowa Central stringing together a very good drive. Oh, we got a flag back towards the 50-yard line on the weak side of the field. Let's check what this is before we do anything else. Decline the penalty, and now we have a cramp on the field, so an official's timeout. how about we go over the starting offense again for this second half? I just about to go over that, so sorry about that, Nathan. The Iowa Central Tritons starting offense heading into game 1 of the season. Gabe McWilliams, a starting quarterback. Ethan Johnson starts at tailback. Your starting receivers include Andrew Genova, Kamari Williams, and Heath McCree, among many others who have been super involved today. From left tackle to right tackle, Xavier Cones Ashmore, Cooper Mansfield, Latorian Hill, Trey Williams, and Michael Smith are holding down the fort up front. And then your starting tight end and flex player, Will Gronke. So that's your Iowa Central Tritons starting offense heading into today. Good to see that. I believe it was just cramps, and he was able to get up on his feet and moving to the sideline. We'll keep an eye on that injured player. Back to the gun. Jones in the backfield with McWilliams. Play action, looking long, firing long. Is that Genova? It might be. Oh, Genova came back looking for the ball. Wanted to go and grab it. High arcing one-on-one ball, and it just wasn't able to be picked up on. Looks like it got lost in the clouds. The weather has been pretty good today. It's a bit humid, but overcast mostly. There was a little bit of sprinkles in the pregame. Other than that, we haven't had anything. A decent wind blowing into the north as well, north of end zone. 11:45 on the clock. The toss out to Kamari Williams makes the grab at the 31-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play at least. 3rd and 7 coming up for Iowa Central. At the end of this possession, we'll go over those ICCAC Athlete of the Week honors that we've been promising to you too. Back to pass, McWilliams looking long, now goes short. Kamari Williams with a one-handed snag, but 2 are on him. He's been double-teamed all game long for good reason. He's a star, one of the best players to make a big play on the field. And they're going to sub him out, looks like, for a play. Maybe came up with a stinger. I don't know, now he wants to stay in. After the gain of 1, 4th and 6 coming up. Tritons take the line, showing that they're going for it. Trips right, 1 bunched left. Firing short, and the catch is made! Tyshawn Brooks! Tyshawn Brooks again, leading the day in receptions, makes another one this drive. 6 on the day, 2 each quarter. 10.5 to go. Here we go, Triton Blue, I want to hear you. They're on their way to the red zone for the 2nd time today. Genova, Brooks, Williams are some of the receivers out left in trips. Gronke's a tight end to the right. They will now send their split back to the right of the field. That is Jones. Quadric Jones goes back in motion right next to McWilliams, and he will, keep it for himself. It's a quarterback keeper. Here goes McWilliams. First touchdown of the day. McWilliams, that's his first NJCAA touchdown of his career. The sophomore keeps it for himself. They weren't expecting it. Waltzing into the end zone. That a kid. 20-yard rushing touchdown for McWilliams. And just like that, after this game started out 13-0, Tritons put 9 on the board, unanswered, 13-9, and looking like going for the PAT. Again, we're going to stay right here. We won't be taking a break because I wanted to talk about those ICCAC honors. But first, the PAT is good. Late call is good. I want to make sure before the ref makes the call. Anyway, 13-10 is the score. Iowa Central from a 20-yard rushing touchdown via Gabe McWilliams. Great play. And there goes that Triton marching band. All right, not only the success of that touchdown, but the success of some of these ICCAC Athletes of the Week. Honors for McCaleb and Hayashi. Mia McCaleb, who is a sophomore Iowa Central volleyball player, in fact, the starting libero, also a Fort Dodge native. I used to call her in high school when she played for Fort Dodge Senior High in a bunch of sports, including basketball and volleyball. McCaleb helped Iowa Central put together a perfect 4-0 opening week that included victories over 2 nationally ranked opponents. McCaleb appeared in 13 of the Tritons' 14 sets, totaling 49 digs and 3 service aces, while averaging nearly 4 digs per set. Crazy numbers. She also delivered some of the best performances in Iowa Central's biggest matches, recording 17 digs and a 5-set victory over number 11 St. John's River State of Florida. McCaleb followed with 16 digs against number 1 Heartland and helping anchor the Tritons defense with an impressive 3-0 sweep of the nation's top-ranked team. Mia McCaleb is an ICCAC Athlete of the Week honor. Here's the return. Oh, we got a long return from that receiver, Isaiah Anderson, who's going to take it to the 45-yard line, or Butler will set up. The other ICCAC Athlete of the Week for Iowa Central is Haruki Hayashi, an Iowa Central sophomore forward who made an immediate impact in his Iowa Central debut, scoring a hat trick to help the Tritons rally for a season-opening victory. Iowa Central traveled to East Central Missouri and came away with a 4-3 win after twice finding itself in a deficit. The Tritons trailed 1-0 and later 3-2 by Hayashi, repeatedly answered to pull Iowa Central back into the match and kept the comeback within reach. The 3-goal performance marked Hayashi's first hat trick at Iowa Central and accounted for his first 3 goals as a Triton as well. Welcome to Iowa Central, Haruki Hayashi. Shout out to Haruki and also Mia McCaleb for being this past week's ICCAC Athletes of the Week. And Iowa Central is back on defense, with Butler returning to offense. Trips left, finding the line of scrimmage. No one outright besides their tight end. Also a tailback in this set. McNew waits for the snap. Tate McNew keeps it, and he will work around 1 Triton, and then will be sandwiched by 2. Tackled by Riak and also 21 Jordan Coleman. That first play is a rush of 10 yards and a first down for Butler Community College. 13-10 is a score. The Grizz are leading the Tritons. Every matchup seems to be a barn burner between these two. Under 9 minutes now, with the clock winding down. Back to pass. McNew fires long, looks back at the ball, and right off the chest. Great defense. Great man coverage by the number 7, Mike Lane. Lane working against that star receiver Finley, who had the touchdown earlier, and somehow was able to defend the pass after it hit the receiver in the chest. Lane's going to stay out there on the right side of the Triton defense. Iowa Central keeping with a familiar look if you're a Cyclone fan. Some similar defensive archetypes. Coach Cratch has brought with him over from coaching with the Cyclones in years past. Tackle in the backfield, but there is also a flag and a helmet that came off for a Butler offensive lineman who wears the number 66. That's Andrew Tien. So he'll likely have to sit out a play unless the flag included him and was against him, or was in favor of him. Hands to the face, 99 on the defense. So that's called against Jaden Moore, the nose tackle, who has made a couple swats at the ball, deflecting 1 pass down. That will result in an automatic first down for Butler Community College. 8.5 minutes to go. 13-10, back to the gun. 2 split out wide on each side. Also a blocking back in this set. Handing off, 21. Ball on the ground, or rather a carrier on the ground. And Covington is tackled after gaining 3 by a couple Tritons attacking his feet, hip, chest. 13-10, Iowa Central needs a stop. Keep the momentum swinging in their favor. 2nd and 7 as Butler approaches the red zone. Back to the gun. Wing back to the left, to right. Zone coverage. Oh, opening! Defense was blown, but the catch is through the hands, incomplete. Oh! If you're a Butler fan watching from home, I'm sure you have your hands on your head. I see some Grizzly fans also with that exact same gesture from the crowd on that side. It looked like there was miscommunication on the defense from Iowa Central, similar to like a fire zone blitz, where showed rush, then backed up with one of the edge rushers. No one was in cloud coverage over on that side of the field, and almost resulted in a touchdown for Butler. Instead, a 3rd and 7. Keep an eye on this quarterback. I think McNew might want to take off again. We saw him do it the first play of this series. Back to pass over the middle of the field. He's got an opening. Possible interception through the hands of the Triton safety. That's okay. They'll take it. 4th and 7 coming up. Isaac Davis was the man back deep in coverage who almost had the interception. That's the first time we've called his name. A sophomore, originally of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Whew. 4th and 7, and now Butler Community College will try a field goal. This one would be for 39 yards. Lefty kicker, 7:36 on the clock. This is to make it 16-10. The kick, the field goal is up, and is it left? No, it's in. It is in. Looked like it was maybe no good from where I looked, but there's a reason they got the refs down under the pylons. Hard to see from up here from time to time. 16-10, 7.5 to go in the third quarter. Let's take a 30-second break or so and be back with the Iowa Central Triton kickoff return right after this on Triton Nation. Triton Nation, back to the broadcast. 7.5 to go in the third quarter. We've had a lot of action to get this second half started. Kickoff will get all the way back to the end zone where it goes out of bounds. Tritons will start up on their 25-yard line. The blue and white today for Iowa Central, the Grizzlies. Gold helmets, white jerseys, and purple pants. This weekend is the first ever Iowa Central Triton football reunion weekend. And it is one of the most packed stadiums I have ever seen in my 7 years calling Iowa Central Triton football. The parking lot is completely full, which is awesome. Even the street, many people had to park over on the street and take a longer walk than usual, including us in the booth. So we love it. A lot out into support today. Back to pass, going long. Tyshawn Brooks, you're crazy. He made the catch. He did it. Bringing it in. Had to backpedal. Tyshawn Brooks doing it all today. 7 receptions. That one goes for over 30 yards, but there's a flag in the backfield. Oh, no. What's the call? Tyshawn Brooks. How about the 1-2 punch between him and Kamari? McWilliams is starting to get his groove too at quarterback. I love it. Holding on the defense. That will be declined. Holy moly. 2 of the biggest Iowa Central Triton plays on offense, both of them On both plays, there was a defensive holding call. And each time the Tritons have declined it. So that's awesome. And the Tritons get right back up. Oh, I see Ethan Johnson has returned to the game too. He's wearing the number 3 at tailback, so it's good to see him return after losing a helmet and taking a shot. It's good to have him back. Back to pass. Now he's blocking. Another fade route. This time, Kamari Williams, who almost made the catch. Perfect pass, by the way. McWilliams is turning it on in the second half. Threw it up, got to the hands of Williams, but again, double covered as he's been all game long. Went in and out of his hands, and I think maybe even on the second bobble, got swatted from the defender. So very good defense. I got to give it to Butler. Iowa Central almost made another big play. Pistol look now. Johnson at tail. 3 bunch to the left, and they hand off. Blockers. Here comes Ethan Johnson shredding 1, 2, 3, and getting the first down for Iowa Central. Tritons go high and low this drive and make their way to the Grizzly red zone for the 3rd time today. They're 1 for 2 on red zone trips. How will this set the pace with their 3rd trip? The pass is a swing pass. Had 1 man to block and gained a few. That catch was made by Heath McCree. Out of kid Heath. That's his 2nd catch of the day, and I think his 3rd target. They give him just 1 yard on the play. 2nd and 9. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remain. 2 out right, 1 left. Gronke set to the right of the right tackle. And now the throw over the middle of the field. Tried to target McCree again. Good coverage and pressure right away. Found an open lane on the defensive line and buried him through. McWilliams had to get rid of it quick. And Heath, I think, just wasn't looking for the ball right away. Didn't get to do his full progression on his route. Gronke is going to be subbed out here, so Tritons look to be putting in some speed. And that's not to say Gronke is not fast, because he certainly is, but maybe an extra half a second, half step. Back to pass play action. Looking towards Kamari Williams, who makes the catch, breaks the tackle. Kamari Williams! He had 6 last year, and now 1 today to open the Iowa Central Triton football season. That goes for 25 yards. And the Tritons tie it at 16 apiece with 6 minutes on the clock. How about that Triton offense? A 25-yard receiving touchdown for Kamari Williams. Sets up PAT. The kick is up, and it's good. Trejo gives the Tritons a lead for the first time today, 17-16. How about those Iowa Central Tritons? They're fired up on the sideline, and there goes the dance team, marching band, and the fans in the stands supporting Iowa Central today on this fantabulous reunion weekend. Let's take a 30-second break. We'll be right back with the kickoff coming up. Trite Nation, how about the thunderous start to the second half for the Iowa Central Tritons? Heading into the second half, the score 10-3. The Tritons fought and scraped. No, excuse me, 13-3 was the score at halftime. Tritons have fought and scraped and came all the way back and not only tied it a moment ago, but they took the lead off the Trejo PAT, who just boomed it over towards the 11-yard line. Here's the return for the Grizzlies. And, oh yeah. Swallowed up and spat out back at the 20, maybe even near the 15-yard line. These Tritons are working as a team now. They have found their rhythm. and leading by 1 point, 17-16 with 6 minutes to go. Now these guys know that they can't keep off the pedal because Butler is very good. And it'll just take a play or two to put Butler back in the driving seat. So Iowa Central's going to have to stay strong. And I tell you what, I have all the confidence in the world as this defense is being led by the long-tenured defensive coordinator, Jeremy Conley. In fact, I was just talking with one of the staff members up here, talking about how Iowa football at every level is so good about keeping these great coaches on long tenures. I got to figure out the first year Coach Conley was with the Iowa Central Tritons. I know he was here all throughout Coach Montalto, but he was also the longtime defensive coordinator for former head football coach and former athletic director Kevin Twait, Coach Twait. The return man had a stinger, and that's their secondary receiver, Isaiah Anderson, who lines up as the Z. Looking at the Iowa Central Triton website, ictritons.com, it appears that Coach Conley first came here in 1997. So he's headed for 30 years with the Iowa Central Tritons, and he's been here in a few different roles, starting out as the assistant defensive line coach. And wow, speaking of the defensive line, hello, huge blast. Blown up that rushing attempt. Second and long coming up. But as I was about to say, he took over as the Iowa Central defensive coordinator in 2011. So 29 years, headed for 30 years with the Iowa Central Tritons coaching staff, and since 2011, so headed for 17 years, 15, 16 years. That's awesome. We're grateful to have Coach Conley. Back to pass. Here's McNew. Stepping up, rolling right, McNew tucks and runs. He's got wheels. Keep an eye on him. And, hey, good communication from the defense. Is that Lane that came down and forced him out of bounds? One of the defensive backs, possibly Lane for Iowa Central. So, after the 2nd and 11 look, that'll gain 5. 3rd and 6 coming up for Iowa Central. How sweet would a stop be here for the Tritons? Empty backfield. Check the motion. Check the motion. If there will be one. Try to draw him off sides. No motion. Okay, that surprises me. Butler over the middle. Oh, they're going to get him. Getting him on a crossing route and falling over himself past the 50-yard line. Nice play design by Butler Community College. You know, I'd say in my couple years calling Iowa Central taking on Butler, if they show that empty backfield, it seems like 9 times out of 10 they're going to motion someone in back there. Not that time, though. The 3rd and 6 converts the first down. Here's a quarterback draw. McNew takes off. He's got wheels. That's a 15-yard, 20-yard pickup. 20-yard pickup. 15 yards before contact. There goes Butler Community College making a run. Now they're back to the empty backfield. Might need a timeout. Yeah, Coach Cratch will take a timeout. These last 2 plays have, I think, surprised the Triton defense, not anticipating the last 2, what they came out in. You could say some improvisation from the Butler coaching staff. Well, 17-16, after Coach Cratch calls his first timeout of the second half. They'll have 2 remaining. Butler will have all 3. Tritons closed last season on a high note, expanding bowl legacy. The Iowa Central Triton football team won their 15th straight postseason game last year to cap off 2025-2026. It's incredible. Coach Montalto, overall, I believe, has gone 11-0 in his, now 12-0 in his bowl victories, the former head football coach for Iowa Central. And there were some major names that have came through that made huge impacts of that last Game 1 bowl, including C.J. Phillip, who finished with the offensive MVP honors 125 rushing yards and 3 scores to win that offensive MVP. And the defensive MVP from last year was Christian Barney, a linebacker, who forced and recovered a fumble, had 11 tackles, and held the opposing team to just 24 scores. It was a very fun Game 1 Bowl to call from last year, where Iowa Central defeated Snow College 38-24. And on to this year. The Iowa Central Tritons start up the season against a team who they closed the regular season with last year, Butler Community College. Butler defeated Iowa Central in the final regular season game last year, 28-24. It would not be fair to say that these are the same teams. Both teams have had a lot of turnover, have kept a good part of each other's offensive and defensive line. Butler has returned their quarterback McNew, who played great last year, and he's played pretty dang good today in the season opener as well. They stay in that empty backfield look after losing that 1 yard now, 2nd and 11. Triton defense keeping 3 on the defensive line, 5 across the middle, 3 deep safeties, firing over the middle of the field, and the catch is going to be made. Great throw, great catch, and 3, 4, 5 are in coverage to try to bring down the receiver. An extra effort will get the job done, and that catch was made by Isaiah Anderson, who returned the kick, who came up with a stinger, so it's good to see he's not injured. They'll keep him in the game for this attempt here. 1st and goal. It's the first time we've called that today. 17-16, Iowa Central leading by just 1. Under 3 minutes remain in the 3rd quarter. 1st and goal. McNew. Oh, awkward snap. Quarterback rushing attempt, and he'll be tackled right away. Wrapped by Jordan Coleman and 18, DJ Davis. 2.5 minutes remain. 2nd and goal. Still in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the 4-yard line. Back to the gun. Blocking back in the set to the right. Strong side of the field. It's a handoff. 21, who's been hard to tackle today. They try to push the line of scrimmage, but they don't. Unsuccessful in their pushing attempt, and the Tritons bring up that iron curtain. Covington had the last carry. A powerful 5'11", 205-pound tailback. It's been a challenge to wrap up today. Now Butler has a 3rd and goal. Ball on the 5-yard line. Triton Nation, we want to hear you. Turn the volume up. Get loud in the stands. Time to support these guys. Back to the gun. 2 right, 2 left. Firing to an out route. And the swat. No, through the arms. Wow, what a catch. Just barely got through the Triton defender, Taylor, on a short out route, and another touchdown. 2nd offensive touchdown today for the Grizzlies. Looked like Peoples had it, or rather Anderson. So they'll line up for the PAT. 22-17. Hold has it down and clean snap through the uprights. Extra points good, 23-17. The Tritons will be back on offense with a kickoff return coming up in 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Triton Nation back to the broadcast. Hank Ambrose with your play-by-play call this season. It's a pleasure to be back calling Iowa Central football all throughout this season. All home games will be broadcasted right here on Triton Nation. Also, would like to give a shout-out to Nathan Hoagland, who takes over as the streaming director. Also would like to shout out Rusty McNeil, who was my instructor, a mentor, and a fantastic teacher who was a longtime streaming director and tech professional with the Iowa Central Community College as well. The kickoff for the Grizzlies sent it all the way back deep to the Triton end zone, and Iowa Central will elect to let it go and set up on their 25-yard line for the touchback. It has been another great game today. Tritons, they did start off a little wobbly trying to put the pieces together, but as soon as they did, they've been firing. And now they find themselves trailing by 6. This is nothing new. This is not new territory as far as this game is concerned. They've trailed the majority of the contest, and they have plenty of time to put together a drive and to get their lead back. 1 minute, 20 seconds remain in the third quarter. 23-17, Ethan Johnson and McWilliams in the backfield in the gun. Play action back to Kamari Williams. Ooh, it got to the fingertips of Kamari, and the ball stood in the air. And, another 2 steps forward for that safety from the Grizzlies, and we could have seen an interception, and that would have been open anchors to the house for 26 on a potential pick 6. Isaiah Pounds was the safety there that was in coverage that almost had the interception. Twins on each side. Back to the gun. McWilliams hands off. Ethan Johnson has a free lane. Here we go. House call. Ethan Johnson, get on your feet and move. This could go for 75 yards. Yeah, baby. EJ, 75 yards. Touchdown. Oh, no, they may call him out of bounds. There's a ref making a signal. Way back, way back. And there's also a flag. Oh, it's going to be on the offense. No. Holding. A 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, so it depends on where the call was. Oh, no. Johnson sprinted through. I thought he had that all the way to the end zone. Minute 4 seconds remain in the third quarter. Let's see where they place this ball. Oh, the holding happened evidently right away. There was 2 blinks and Johnson was at the 50-yard line. So elusive, so fast. And now it's going to stay second down and 20, all the way to the 10-yard line. So they're saying the hold happened at around the 5 yards forward. Oh, this could be free play. Yeah, it is. Kamari Williams makes the catch and runs. Still on his feet. Stay in bounds. He does. Kamari Williams. Keep going. Kamari. Yes. Kamari to the 15-yard line. Coming off the free play, they took the shot. Iowa Central's biggest plays keep coming from these defensive penalties that are declined. Butler seems to be like giving up after they give up a defensive penalty. Okay, there's another penalty, but this is on the defense. This should be false start. It is. So that'll be declined. I'm sure Kamari Williams and Ethan Johnson are looking back at each other like, come on. Some friendly competition. Kamari Williams with another burning play. Maybe due for 2. 52 seconds remain in the third quarter, 23-17. And the Tritons are back in the red zone on the Grizzlies side, marked on the 15-yard line. McWilliams goes short. Ooh, there we go, Gronke. Gronke falls forward. Gronke gets the snag with those long arms, brings the ball back into his chest. Textbook touchdown, bringing it right up the middle. Touchdown, Iowa Central Tritons. 23-23. And Trejo gets out like a kid in a candy store, ready to kick this PAT. Here we go, Trejo, lock in. Let's get the lead back. I'll give it to Gronke. He told me that I was going to call his name on Saturday, last time I spoke with him. And I certainly did, Gronke. Atta kid getting the touchdown. PAT, good. 24-23. The Iowa Central Tritons take the lead back for the second time today. And we'll take another 30-second break. More Triton football kicking off right after this on Triton Nation. (24-23). Stay with us in this broadcast, man. This game has been phenomenal. Welcome to football. This is what we've been missing, right? How excited have we been to get back to Iowa Central Triton football? I know I've been. And to start off with a game like this is just incredible, especially on the reunion weekend. Great work from Iowa Central. It's 24-23. Will Gronke, the 6'5" beast tight end, just ran a seam right up the middle to make the grab, miss a tackler, and get to the end zone to get the lead back for Iowa Central. Just by 1 point, close enough to a tie game. So the Tritons, they're going to need a stop. We know that Butler Community College has been very good with controlling the time and clock management in the first half. They've done an okay job here, but the Tritons they've done an equally as good job. So gonna need to change too, and hopefully get a stop here for Iowa Central. Here's a handoff, first time today for the number 16, who is going to be stopped after a second effort near the line of scrimmage. 16 has the carry. Lucas Dickman, running back of Goddard, Kansas. And we're going to have a officials timeout. We have an injured Triton on the field. I didn't see the number. Our training staff's going to come out to check him. Hopefully he is all right and just fine. What a game we've seen today. Been very fun to see so far. Getting down to the meat and potatoes of this contest. The Iowa Central Triton upcoming football schedule includes September 5th, next Saturday, against ICCAC conference opponent, Ellsworth Community College. Noon kickoff right here at Dodger Stadium. Then they're going to have 4 road matchups in a row. At Highland on the 12th, at Coffeyville on the 19th, the 26th at Dodge City, October 10th at Garden City, and then they'll return home October 17th against Iowa Western Community College. And we're back to action. Deep throw over the middle of the field. Went for that tall, lengthy receiver, Briar Finley, who had a touchdown earlier. And plenty in coverage to make the stop. I think Jockey Parker was maybe the initial man in coverage. That deep safety waiting for that deep cross route. 3rd and 10 coming up. The rest of the schedule includes October 24th at Independence Community College, October 31st at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, and the final regular season contest of the season will be on November 7th, home versus Hutchinson Community College. And that's going to be a night game, 5 p.m. kickoff. So we look forward to all those. This whole schedule can be found at ictritons.com. Another post over the middle converts a first down from a 3rd and 10, and that's a 23-yard gain, and that will also close the quarter. Peoples closing the quarter with a 23-yard reception. We will flip sides, and the Tritons will stay out on defense after this short 8-minute break. Starting the fourth quarter right after this on Triton Nation. Triton Nation, welcome back to the broadcast for the Iowa Central fans and also the Grizzlies fans. 15 minutes on the clock. We are about to begin the fourth and final quarter to play here for the first regular season game of the year for this 2026-2027 NJCAA football season. Starting from the gun, trailing by 1 point are the Grizzlies as they just crossed into the 45-yard line, and great deflection made by Ivan Clark, starting cornerback, as they go to or attempt to go to Briar Finley once again. He had the opening offensive touchdown, 20-yard fade route. Earlier today, we also saw Isaiah Anderson score a 5-yard receiving touchdown, punt return touchdown as well for the Grizzlies. And then their other points came from a field goal that went in for about 39 yards. Iowa Central has scored a couple touchdowns. McWilliams has got one. Kamari Williams has another, and then Gronke has the most recent. Back to pass, going over the middle of the field. Oh, wow. Hit stick. Big shot, and looks like a little razzed is the D-back for Iowa Central, who's maybe going to come out a play. Yeah, he's okay. He runs off the field. Looks like maybe just had a stinger and scared him. Made the play, though, so that's what counts. Isaac Davis who's going to sit out for a play. 3rd and 7 coming up. Tritons get back on defense. Just 20 seconds into the fourth quarter. 14 and a half remain. Back to pass. McNew is, fumble! Ball's free! Ball's free! The defensive line caused a turnover. Picked up by the 99, Jaden Moore. And the fumble was forced by, is that 2-5? Looks like 2-5. Malachi Brown. Oh, we have a call. Are we good? What's going on? Right as I check my stats, did we have a penalty? What happened? Declined, okay. Sorry about that. So whenever you look down at your notes, that's when something crucial happens, right? All right. Oh, they say incomplete pass. Okay. Well, anyway, that starts a 4th and 7, so that starts a 4th and 7. 14 minutes, 21 seconds remain. Punt is high. Traveling towards the 25-yard line, bouncing to the 20, to the 15, where it'll die. Iowa Central Tritons take over an offense, leading by 1, 24-23 with 14-11. All right. Butler Community College last season had one of the better players in the nation, especially on the ground, Marcellus Bass, had almost 190 rushing attempts and nearly 1,300 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. Him moving to the next level, transferring, I know, has created a lot of shoes to fill, but I'd say that Butler Community College has done some pretty good work on the ground today to fill in for Bass. He's one of the top running backs last season. Handing off to Ethan Johnson, going to be crowded just behind the right tackle. Second and long coming up for Iowa Central now. I have a list of last year's All-Americans we can go over in just a second. First of all, 2nd and 9 coming up, 13 and a half minutes remain. Back to the gun, 2 left, 2 right, over the middle of the field, Tyshawn Brooks. Looked like there was contact, and then he got the ball in his hands but dropped it. It was just maybe a little behind him. Came pretty quick. 3rd and 9 now coming up. Last year's All-Americans for Butler and Iowa Central include Marcellus Bass from last year, the running back. Also, Alan Pond, an offensive lineman for Iowa Central, making the first team last year. Trying a fade route, there was a flag to start the play, and it's going to go through the hands incomplete towards Jason Essex. Penalty marker on the play. Let's wait to see what's called here. Other All-Americans. First team All-American defense, Taylor Schaefer, a linebacker for Iowa Central last season. Also second team All-America defense for Iowa Central, Ahmad Grayer, who returns this season. Going to replay 3rd down. Penalties against the defense. Got a man jumping, so that'll move him forward about 5 yards. 3rd and 5 coming up. And finally, second team All-American special teams. Hunter Rue, Butler's kicker last year. Here's a deep pass for McWilliams. Tries to go towards Tyshawn Brooks, but it's just a little out in front of him. 4th and 5 coming up. Tritons will show punt close back to their own end zone. And then there was an honorable mention last year, All-American special teamer Marcellus Chandler for Iowa Central. Fourth and 5, 24-23, 13 minutes and 22 seconds remain. Ball gets back to the punter. Ooh, nearly blocked. Punt up in the air towards the 50 where it goes out of bounds. Very good field positioning here for Butler coming out on offense. This matchup has been a fun rivalry over the years. I think one of the best decisions that NJCAA football and also the conferences made between the ICCAC and the KJCCC were to invite each other into their play-in schedule, almost making a super conference, if you will, between the two Midwestern beast JUCO colleges. I think it's made these teams and athletes a lot better. It definitely has made the competition very fierce, right? That merger came just a couple years ago. I think we might be in the 3rd or 4th season of the KJCCC and ICCAC play-in schedule merge. They used to see each other beforehand, but not as frequently throughout the regular season. 1st and 15 following the false start on offense. And a handoff to 24, another new running back for Butler. That one is, I don't have a 24 on my roster. Maybe it's 22, Damont Mucker, who's listed as a tailback. Oh, you know what? It's 29. That would be Jabari Murphy. Jabari Murphy of West Florida. No gain on the play. Now makes 2nd and 15. 12:40 to go in the fourth quarter. 24-23, Tritons lead by 1. Butler's back to pass, looking long, has an open man to the left side of the field. If he can get it down there, he could have a touchdown. No, he can't. Instead, he'll dump it off short. McNew evidently maybe didn't think he could get it down there in time. So going short to his tailback will be tackled by Bat Ryak. 3rd and 7 coming up now. 3rd and 7 on the way. 12 minutes to go. On the 41-yard line. In the gun on each side. Butler Community College back to pass. McNew rolls to his right, has a man in there, throws it away. Yep, okay, that's a fair throwaway. He got outside the pocket in time. 11 minutes, 48 seconds. The clock is stopped. 4th and 7 on the way, and punting unit comes out for Butler Community College. That penalty that they got called against their offense was very crucial. If they didn't have that, they could have been set up closer to about the 35-yard line, closer to the first down line to gain, and a lot closer to field goal range as well. They had that 39-yard field goal earlier. The punt is high up in the air, and fair catch is called by Marcellus Chandler at the 11-yard line or so. 1st and 10 on the way for the Triton offense. 11:40 to go. (24-23). 11:42 on the clock in the fourth quarter. You can feel the tension in the air. The Iowa Central Tritons could put together a drive that could drain the clock. First things first, first down, over and over again would be key for Iowa Central. Butler, who's had a very sound defense today, if they can just keep things tight and force another 3 and out, they're going to have a pretty good opportunity once again. Oh, ball on the ground, jumps on it is McWilliams. Good job, quick thinking. From where I'm standing up in the crow's nest, I don't know, maybe hit off the bottom of the snapper. Loss of 3 on the play now brings up 2nd and 13, and the clock will continue to run. (11:15) on the clock, still with 15 on the play clock. Back to pass now, firing long for Williams. Just out of reach, double teamed once again, as he has been all day. Looks like Williams maybe signaled to have a substitution. Yeah, officials' timeout is called. Good eye from the referee, and good call for them for allowing Williams to come out this upcoming play, 3rd and 13. Iowa Central has a lot of options to pick up a first down. This is not as easy as it looks for Butler Community College. McWilliams in the gun, backed up to nearly his own end zone. Ethan Johnson's also back there. Trips right, 1 left. McWilliams back to pass. Looks long, fires, and it's, flag. They're going to call him on the defensive pass interference. So for those at home wondering why will that be called for defensive pass interference as opposed to the other ones, the main reason is what the defender was doing. Can there be contact? Sure, but wasn't looking at the ball and was boxing the receiver out and out of bounds while the ball remained catchable. There was a couple times earlier today where it looked like a defensive pass interference could have maybe been called, but the pass was probably not in the proximity to be caught. So that will reward an automatic first down for Iowa Central and move them forward for 15 yards. 11 minutes on the clock here, 11 flat, 24-23. 1st and 10, Iowa Central now on their own 24. 2 in the backfield. Cadillac look from the gun and handing off to the 10. Oh, extracurricular. Tritons won a penalty flag thrown. On that carry was 20, Quadric Jones. Instead, they'll give him just a yard, no penalties, 2nd and 9. With 10.5 to go. 10.5 minutes remaining. Clock continues to wind down. Bunch trips inside the markers. One short left. Back to pass. Rolling to his right. He may tuck and run here. He's got open room. Here we go. McWilliams starts to run. Just couldn't avoid that first tackler. As he got to the 35 or 36 yard line, he's going to be just shy of a first down, 3rd and short coming up. And McWilliams is favoring his right foot. See, he's got his left knee taped. So now it looks like maybe both knees are hurting him a bit. 3rd and 3. They get the call from the sideline. 9:40 on the clock. McWilliams from the gun. 2 left, 1 right. McWilliams hands off. Ethan Johnson. Ethan Johnson has room. Oh, but he trips over himself. Shoestring tackle. Waiting for the number 23. Corey Rowland, defensive back. Originally of Tulsa, Oklahoma, makes the shoestring tackle. That is one of the most impactful tackles of the day. If Rowland wasn't there, Johnson could have certainly had that first down and maybe more, which would have continued to move the chains and milk the clock. Now, 9 minutes and 5 seconds remain, and the Tritons lining up for the punt from their own 32-yard line. They get it back to them, and now the punt, looks a bit short. Did not get all of it. And another very good starting field position for Butler Community College, starting up at around the 50-yard line, maybe even in Triton territory. I see one line judge standing on the 49 of the Triton side. That's true. They will start on the Triton side of the field. All right. Butler trails by 1 point. 8:52 on the clock. 1st and 10. Refs signal to play ball whenever they please. From the pistol, bring it down to the gun now. 2 split out on each side. Handing off to the tailback, and now he trips over his line. 21, Isaac Covington. Sun is starting to come out into the south end zone. And just looking on the field, looks like sun is also starting to come out overhead of us as well. So that would be on the west side from the southwest. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Still 24-23. Yep, there comes that sunshine. Oh, counter with a block. Oh, flag on the field. This is a big run, breaking 2 tackles. How about the block by McNew? There's a flag in the backfield, maybe a holding on the offense. Just watching the reaction from the referees, this might be on the offense. Let's see the official call here. Hang on. Holding offense. Ball will be placed 5 yards from the spot. Remains 2nd down. And because that was a handoff from the gun and it was a counter play, and the holding might have even been called on quarterback McNew, that's going to bring him far back. So now this is a 2nd down and 18 on their own 43-yard line. Keep in mind they started on the Triton 49. Empty backfield. This has worked pretty well before. Ball on the ground. That's a fumble. Can't contest that. And a fumble recovery. It was the same guy who forced the fumble earlier, Malachi Brown. And 47 picked it up. No, 18 picked it up for Iowa Central. DJ Davis picked it up. Brown forced the fumble. Davis got the recovery, it looks like. Tritons ball, 1st and 10 in opponent territory. 7 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. Wow, you're kidding me. What a huge play. from the second from a 2nd and 18 nonetheless. Back to pass, looking long, firing, pressure there. Ooh, almost got it over to McCree, but just out of reach and out of bounds. 2nd and 10 on the way, 7:50 remain. So the Tritons try to get the Grizzlies off their back foot and take a shot deep. Wonder if they might return to the ground now. They've been very effective with the short pass game, however. That's the thing. Grizzlies are up for a tall order here because Iowa Central has been effective at so many areas today on offense. Back to pass, and firing long, swivel move, and it's just out of reach again. How many times have we said that today, huh? A couple times, just barely out of reach of the intended receiver. That time it was intended again to McCree, who was diving like a dog to a frisbee towards the end zone. Boy. 24-23, 7:43. Clock stays stopped from the gun. Trips right. Oh, we got movement. And reaction says defense, maybe? I think they invoked, it looked like they invoked the Triton left tackle to jump offsides, which would be Conez Ashmore. Yes, that's true. All right, so 5 yards forward brings a 3rd and 5 now. 7:43 on the game clock. In the gun, trips right, one receiver left. Ethan Johnson also in the backfield. Opening, oh! I saw exactly what McWilliams was looking at. We saw Tyshawn Brooks. He was open without man-to-man coverage, but the progression that he was running, it seemed that he would have anticipated the ball later than as soon as what McWilliams wanted to throw it to him to. So I think you just have to chalk that up to a miscommunication. And look at this. Trejo is going to try a field goal. Ooh, okay, so he's already hit his career record once today. This would be, is this 47? Yeah, you're right. Okay, 47-yard attempt. Here we go. Oh, it's blocked ball on the ground. Pick it up and run. Pick it up and run. Ah. It doesn't, I don't know who recovered it. It looks like maybe the Grizzlies recovered it. So it'll be starting up at around the 30-yard line. Shout out Nathan for doing the quick math. I can't do that. I got a broadcasting degree, and we didn't study much of the computation here, so thank you, Nathan. Okay, so that is another blocked kick. So how many? 3 blocked kicks? Had the opening punt blocked, had a PAT blocked against the Grizzlies, and then that right there makes the 3rd blocked kick of the day. You don't even really see that in every game, so how about that? Here's the sunshine, beautiful sunshine, marking down to Dodger Field now in Dodger Stadium. 7:33 to go, 24-23, back to pass, looking left, pump fake, throw out, deep comeback route, and the catch is made by Briar Finley, who had the opening offensive touchdown of the day, and he's been a threat all day long. I think we can maybe make the case. Early consideration. Both sides have some of the best receivers in the nation. I think we may see a couple future All-Americans from today's game. Ball on the ground. Oh, what's the call? Swing pass. Did he throw it backwards? What do we think? Incomplete pass? They're going to call him incomplete. We'll stay with incomplete. Oh, those swing passes are dangerous because if he throws from behind him, then a fumble would be called. All right. 2nd and 10, 7:12 remains in the 4th quarter. 24-23, Tritons lead by 1. Showing zone coverage, no one on the slot receiver, waiting for the deep out route. Uh-oh, over the middle now, and the catch is made. Great great work turning that original out route to a crosser over the middle. nice work by the improviser quarterback McNew to take the time to let the receivers reset in the field while the play is going on and to throw a good dime, too. 6:40 on the clock now, and now it looks like we may be seeing more of Butler looking to waste some time away. Because now they're in Triton territory. They can do a lot here. Stiff-arming one man, gain of 1 or 2 on the play. A couple Tritons were on the tackle. Gain of 1 on the play, makes 2nd and 9. 6 minutes to go. 24-23. Trips left. Handing off, quarterback keeper, read option. McNew on the keeper is going to spritz to the 39-yard line, so gain of 3 or 4 on the play. That'll make 3rd and manageable on the Triton 39-yard line. 3rd and 5, ball on the Triton 39. 5 minutes, 30 seconds remain in the 4th quarter. 24-23, Tritons lead by just 1. Time to kick up turf. 3 on the defensive line, 3 linebackers across the board, and 5 D-backs in this set. They are not pressing the inside receivers. Back to pass. McNew looks left, now over the middle of the field, and they throw. No way that's caught. That would be the catch of the day if so. Did he hang on to that? No, incomplete. Okay. He, like a torpedo, was spinning around that receiver who it looked like he almost caught it. Isaiah Anderson. Both of their leading receivers have been awesome today, too, as well as the Iowa Central Tritons receiving staff. But officially, incomplete pass, so 4th and 5. Ball on the 39-yard line and showing. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Showing punt. The punter being back at the 47. 5 minutes on the clock here. Chandler, the punt return man, is back towards the 10-yard line. Punt is high in the air, calls for fair catch. Hey, good call by Chandler, but also good work by the Butler team to keep the pressure on, all while not touching the return man. Otherwise, we could have seen a penalty. Okay, this is crucial. This is where game time happens. 24-23. Iowa Central leads by 1. 5 minutes on the clock. Well, to be more precise, 4 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock. An insurance touchdown would be awfully sweet, but if they can take their time and make 5 or so first downs, 5 or 6 first downs, and this could be the game. Now, the Grizzlies do have all 3 timeouts, so we are not quite close to game time yet, especially after the tackle in the backfield against Ethan Johnson. 3 were there to bring down the tailback. It's a loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15 coming up. Tritons now showing empty backfield. 4.5 minutes to go. McWilliams tries to draw the line off sides. 4 are in the box. Everybody else is showing zone coverage on defense. 3 right, 1 left. And Johnson has a slip screen. Johnson, oh, ball free. Oh, they called him down. That ball went way forward. That would have been a far out of reach fumble, but Johnson was called down. I like the slip screen call, especially that they started Johnson on the line of scrimmage and then brought him back as in a gun look and just took a half a step, half a second, and then lined up to get the reception. It's a gain of 5 on the play, 3:45, and the clock is still winding down. 3rd and 10 here from the 20-yard line of Iowa Central. Back to pass. Over the middle of the field, has an open man. Oh, he didn't see him. It's a sack. The first sack of the day comes in a crucial spot. If there was a time for the Grizzlies to get their first sack of the day, it would be now, and they did just that. Huge move by the Grizzlies. 4th and 19 on the way, 3 minutes and 15 seconds with the clock still winding down, and they can milk it all the way to about 2 minutes and 54-ish seconds remaining before they snap the ball. And Tritons are going to wait till the very last second to take the timeout, I think. That's what I see here. Clock still winding down. Yep, with 1 second left on the play clock, Coach Cratch takes his second timeout of the second half. So the Tritons will have just one timeout remaining. I brought it up before. Last year's game against these two, it was one of the hardest, craziest, nail-biting, goosebump-making games of the season. Last game of the regular season. First game of the regular season this year, and we have quite the similar contest. Last year finished 28-24 in favor of the Grizzlies right here at Dodger Stadium. Now we look at 24-23, Tritons leading, and they're about to punt back to the Grizzlies. Tritons are going to need to make a big stop here, especially with just one timeout remaining. It'll be a tall order for this Triton defense, led by longtime defensive coordinator Jeremy Conley and the rest of his crew. Back towards the end zone is the Triton punter. Waiting for the snap. It gets back to him. The punt is up, and away, getting to the 50-yard line where it's fielded down, and no fair catch. They try to return, and he'll get maybe 2 or 3 yards out of it. It's going to be another start. Another start on that side of the field, on the Triton side of the field for the Grizzlies. 2 minutes and 38 seconds remain. 1st and 10 coming up on the 47-yard line. Forgive me as I write my notes down. All right. 2:38 in the fourth quarter. 24-23, 1st and 10. Now it's on the 48-yard line. They hand off, and leaping forward is the tailback. Going to be a solid gain of maybe 5 on the play, avoiding tacklers. On the carry that time was Isaac Covington. Officially, they'll give them 4 on the play, so 2nd and 6, winding down to 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. There is a 2-minute break, so we might not see a snap here. Oh, they do take the snap. Okay. Handing off back to the tailback, who is running past the first down marker and getting past the 35-yard line. Yeah, just thinking into the future, I think the Tritons will take that first down. I mean, you never want to give up a first down, and you certainly would have loved to stop them. But I'll tell you why I think that that's not as bad to give up the first down there. And that's because we just got to the 2-minute break timeout, right? So if they didn't pick up the first down there, and if they had a 3rd and manageable, like a 3rd and 3, like they could have maybe had, if they would have picked up the first down after the 2-minute break, then the clock would have been running. And this way you get to stop the clock and reset the downs, 1st and 10. And also the tackle was made not too far from the first down marker. So I don't think that's such a bad scenario for Iowa Central. They're set up on the 34-yard line officially. 2 minutes will remain. The Tritons have just one timeout remaining. Earlier today, the Grizzlies made a 39-yard field goal, which would give them a 26-24 lead if they were able to do that again. But once again, I don't know if they can do that. If they can get that close, it's going to be They say if there's a will, there's a way, right? So we'll see what happens from here on out. On the 34-yard line, Tritons get back on defense. Back to the gun. 2 left, a blocking back outright behind the right guard. Now they will motion over the tailback who will slash in the middle, counter. Great tackle in the backfield. Fantastic tackle in the backfield. Made by Ahmad Grayer, the second-team All-American from last year. That's a tackle for loss, 2nd and 12. See, 2nd and 12 from the 36 is much more favorable than a 1st and 10 from the 35, which could have been the case with the clock still running. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. The clock is still winding down. Such a tough spot here for defense. Back to the gun. 2 right, also blocking back to the right. The tight end is to the left of the left tackle. Handoff, he's the lead blocker, and a gain of 4 on the play. 3rd and 8, I think, is coming up. Need a stop here. Down to 1 minute and 5 seconds with the clock still rolling. That final timeout has not been used by Iowa Central. Grizzlies keep all 3 of theirs. Nail biters beware. We're getting down into cinematic territory. In the gun, 2 right, 1 left. What will they do here from the 3rd and 9? Rolling right, back to pass, and throwing long. Here's the pick off. Yes! Yes! Interception! Interception! Are you kidding me? Holy mackerel! What? Interception! That's Mike Lane! Mike Lane called game! Mike Lane called game! Interception! Yes! They will conquer the Grizzlies if they can just get 1 first down. Holy moly! I cannot believe they passed the ball and picked it off. You're crazy, Mike. Oh. Grizzly fans, I'm sorry, but we got a bittersweet rivalry brewing from the past couple seasons, and that feels good. But it's not over because it'll be 1st and 10 with all 3 timeouts remaining. Iowa Central needs. The game is far from over. Keep that in mind. But that is a momentous stop. McWilliams will hand off to Johnson. Johnson, keeping it on the ground, will be near the line of scrimmage. Holy moly. We're still good with the FCC, right, Nathan? Okay, good. FCC on YouTube? Okay. Second and 10, and the Grizzlies use their first timeout. That's one of the better case scenarios for the Grizzlies. If the Tritons get 1 first down, then it's over. But the Grizzlies have stopped the Tritons multiple times in their opening set of drives. They have made 5 3-and-outs today. So they certainly could make a 6th 3rd and out. And if they do, they could get the ball back and in the closing seconds could have an opportunity to kick a field goal to close the game. So again, folks, I just want you to know we are far from over. The cat is not out of the bag for the Tritons just yet. What a game, ladies and gentlemen, especially for it being the first weekend of their first ever football reunion weekend in a packed Dodger Stadium. I know the away side has got a pretty good attendance too, but on the home side we are completely filled, butts in seats. 2nd and 10 on the 7. Hand off, Johnson. Oh, help him out, McWilliams. Help him. We don't need a safety. Oh, my goodness. Got to get dirty. Or not dirty, but you got to use your elbow grease too. We're going to have a 3rd and very long inside the Triton 5-yard line, I do believe. Where do they mark him? Golly. They're going to put him on the 3. What? I don't know what you do in this scenario. I say you got to keep it on the ground. That's a safe bet in my opinion. Maybe a zone read look from the gun. Now that's just what I'm saying. I don't know if that would be the correct move. The most conservative, safe move would maybe just be icing the play and doing like an isolation up the middle, maybe even under center, which none of the teams have gone under center today, so that would be a bit scary too, I would say. Oh, this is such a grueling spot. 3rd and 13 on their own 3-yard line. Oh, my. Maybe quarterback keeper. Maybe McWilliams can get the snap and run around. What do you do here? This is just as tough as you can get for calling offensive plays. They do line up under center with McWilliams. Brotherly shove, tush push, going forward. So that will knock down another play, and that will knock down a couple more seconds with 24 seconds remaining in this one. There will be 24 seconds to go in this fourth quarter with a 4th and 11. This has got to be an excellent punt. It just simply has to be. It might have to be the best punt of the day for the new Triton punter, Ashton Lutz. We need a great snap from Eric Gomez, the long snapper, as well. This is what Iowa Central means when it means it takes everyone. It takes the whole team, even the non-starters. Look at this. Lutz is literally with his back to the back of the end zone. Are we one man down? I think we're one man down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we had 11. Maybe a miscommunication, though, regardless. A timeout called by Coach Cratch. The final timeout he had. There are no timeouts between either of these teams. 24-23. Nathan, welcome to Iowa Central. This is Nathan's first Iowa Central game, too, the new streaming director. So how about that? What a crazy weekend. Football's back, baby. This is what it's all about. Butler has a really good opportunity here to do something wild, to make a memorable moment. Iowa Central Triton, their staff could close the deal the first week of the season. Lutz gets a snap, and it's blocked. And it will be recovered in the end zone. Likely, no, or is it on the 1-yard line? Oh, my goodness. A 4th block kick of today. It will be recovered regardless. I think it was out of the end zone. I think they're going to be on the 1-yard line. I believe they will be on the 1-yard line. Unless they call it a safety. Waiting for the official ruling on the field. Butler wants a safety called. Nothing quite yet. Still waiting. You can see all the officials are lined up together. We'll see the official announcement from the white cap. 16 seconds on the clock. That play alone drained 8. What will they say? Result of the play. 1-yard line. 4th down. Wow. 1-yard line. 1st and goal coming up for Butler Community College. And I see the coaching staff on the far side wanting a safety. Because if they got a safety, it'd be 2 points in their favor, and they would be returning the punting kickoff, which would virtually seal the game as well. All right, gotta get loud. Triton Nation, here we go. What's so scary about this is neither team has any timeouts. There's 16 seconds on the clock. Butler trails by 1, and they're going to take a field goal right away. They're going to just take the lead. But it comes down to this. They always say in baseball, the hardest out to get is the last one. The hardest field goal to make is the last one, especially with pressure like this. Here we go. The kick is up, And it is good. Butler has miraculously taken the lead back, 26 to 24. Butler Community College, now it's not over. Once again, 13 seconds on the clock, and crazier things have happened at Dodger Stadium. Don't think that it's over for the Tritons either, just as we said earlier for Butler Community College. 13 seconds on the clock, likely, their kicker more than once has been able to get the ball past the end zone for a touchback. So might try to get it back deep to the end zone, or a lot of the traditional football staff at each level, they like the squib kick, some sort of line drive or bouncing kick to put the ball in play to force a return, to shred some time off the clock. That, though, could give some better field positioning. Both of these offenses and defenses have been so dang good today. They've played their hearts out. I don't know. I think the Tritons could feel pretty good about getting the ball back here on offense. They've had a couple home run plays that just haven't gone through. And with 13 seconds here, waiting for the kickoff in the fourth quarter, trailing by 2, we could see something crazy. It's a line drive, and they will let it go to the end zone. And a touchback is called. Touchback, so Iowa Central is going to have some shots with 13 seconds remaining. (26-24). No matter the end result of this game, I got to say both of these teams have a very bright future. With how good this game has been, each team has trailed in this game. Each team has came back in the game. They have showed their star players. They have worked in unison on both sides of the ball. Just a fun matchup. And we're not quite at the end yet. That climax is on the way as the Tritons take the field. Showing prevent defense right away, 4 on the defensive line, 3 backers scattered across the 42 on the 50, and 2 more even further back. McWilliams will fire over the middle of the field, and the catch is made by Chandler. And we're going to try to run to get to the ball. It's a first down, so clock is temporarily stopped at 5 seconds. Maybe we'll be able to clock the ball down. You got to give up the ball. The clock is not running quite yet. 5 seconds still, yet to run, and they will look to spike it, and they do, giving up maybe 1 more second. So we will see the final play of the game in just a moment. Wow. That was a great play design. Threw it over the middle of the game, over the middle of the field, and that, to me, honestly, is about as good as you could get, setting up for one final Hail Mary in this position, or maybe, who knows what, a lateral. We'll see. It's coming up in a matter of seconds. 2 seconds on the clock, 26-24. Grizzlies leading the Tritons by 2. Iowa Central. 3 on the left side, 1 on the right. Back to passers. Pressure. McWilliams rolls to his right. Has to just chuck it downfield, and it's out of reach of any Tritons. And Butler hangs on, just as they did last year in similar fashion. Just getting the final scored on the board in the final 30 seconds. Wow. Lightning has certainly struck twice at Dodger Stadium in back-to-back matchups. Butler Community College, I got to give it to you. You played with your heart out on the field every single play today. And the Iowa Central Tritons, you did too. And this is just Genesis, just like I said in the pregame. The beginning of the storm brewing for the Iowa Central Tritons this football season. If you don't think that this has created some sort of crazy, heart-racing tension in their hearts and in their belly, this has been a fantastic football game, but it's only the beginning for Coach Cratch crew. And of course, our second part to the season is going to be coming up the following Saturday when the Iowa Central Tritons will be hosting Ellsworth Community College of Iowa Falls, Iowa, in an ICCAC matchup. Of course, these ones, it hurts to lose a heartbreaker like this in this close affair. But again, both teams have balled out, and they have played so well today. They got to be happy. And you know what? They get to learn from this opportunity. 1 loss on the year. in the first game of the season is not the end all be all, folks. The Tritons came out kind of unpredictable, not really knowing exactly how they're going to show with this all new coaching staff, these all new players coming in to the season with a couple of players returning from last year, and they came and showed that they can compete head to head with a top 10 team in the nation. That says so much, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to say, too, the fact that we got to bring back all of these legendary all-timers from the Iowa Central Triton football teams, from past players, staff members, coaches, etc., to come out and support the Iowa Central Tritons. It's been a fantastic reunion weekend, and I'm so happy and like to thank everybody that made that happen. I'd also like to thank all the new fans from both sides tuning into the broadcast today, and everybody that came out to support the Iowa Central Tritons, including the Triton Marching Band, the Triton Dance Team, and everyone from the training staff to the folks down on the field making the markers run smooth, to the media out here today, including our brand new streaming director, Mr. Nathan Hoagland, and everybody else behind the scenes that makes today and all football games and broadcasts happen. So thank you so much for that. I will be back with you in the play-by-play booth for the Ellsworth contest heading into September 5th. In the meantime, you have a great rest of your weekend. Football is back, baby, and that's what we should be excited about. Till next time, this is Hank Ambrose signing off from another football game for Triton Nation.